Life moves slower in the South, but this year in Mississippi, it's all relative. Lane Kiffin has his offense moving at warp speed, one of the best in the country through the air. And on the ground, this balanced attack led by Matt Corral moves under the lights tonight. This is SEC Saturday night from Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi, where the Rebels take the field in their powder blues. Welcome, everybody. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole's down on the field right behind us. This will be a fun game because it's going to be a contrast in styles. It's South Carolina's pickup truck against Lane Kiffin's speedster.
Just to show you how far the SEC has come in 5 years. I mean, when Will Muschamp was hired, it was all about defense. You had to have a defensive guy, and now the SEC is all about offense. It's old school versus new school defense. Got to try to figure out this puzzle of Ole Miss.
This Ole Miss offense isn't just opportunistic, but it's wildly efficient. And last time out against Vanderbilt, they did everything right. At one point, Matt Corral completed 19 consecutive passes. That beat Eli's record, the 6 passing touchdowns. That's also tied Eli's record. If you throw out a couple Manning references in the open, you're doing pretty well. And oh, by the way, Elijah Moore, not just his favorite receiver, but he also had a record night.
I mean, Matt Corral is playing at such a high level right now. And you're right, he's got a ton of talent around him, and Elijah Moore, Kenny Yeboah, and the running backs that they have. But he's on another level right now. Tom, he had 6 touchdown passes and only 3 incompletions. I don't care if you're playing against a 6th grade football team. That's pretty unbelievable. And I tell you what, there's nobody at the quarterback position making throws like Matt Corral is. He's very Patrick Mahomes-esque in the way he changes his arm angle, throwing off platform. He is fun to watch.
That's quite a comp. Meanwhile, on the other side, the question for South Carolina all week has been who will start at quarterback. Cole Kublik has that news as we send it to him down on the field.
Well, Tom, it's been an uphill battle for the South Carolina offense this season, and Collin Hill will continue to be the South Carolina starting quarterback. I spoke to Mike Bobo on the field before the game, and he said there are things that we need our quarterback to be able to do. Handle before the snap, after the snap, in coverage, and when they come to the sideline as far as the information that they're distributing to me, Collin Hill is our best opportunity to win games as the starting quarterback. Therefore, he will stay the starter tonight.
All right, Cole, thanks. And if South Carolina is to win this game, they're going to do it with a different style than Ole Miss, and that plays into exactly why he's starting. What does he do well?
Well, they got to run the football. And look, Mike Bobo brought Collin Hill from Colorado State. So the things he's mentioning there is getting South Carolina in the right runs, right? You come to the line of scrimmage with a couple runs. He knows this offense inside and out. Any advantage you have at the line of scrimmage for a team like South Carolina that's struggling up front, that's what you need to do. And Collin Hill gives them the best chance to do that.
Defensive-minded head coach Will Muschamp in his 5th season as the head man at South Carolina. He's gone head-to-head with Lane Kiffin numerous times, especially as assistants. They had a great Iron Bowl a couple years ago when Will was at Auburn and Lane was a Nick Saban assistant at Alabama. The styles and personalities, well, they're almost equal to the styles of play that we're going to see tonight. Once Lane gets his headset right, fits it over the visor, he'll be calling in plays. I mean, he is a fun coach to watch on the sideline who coaches and plays calls with an almost, I don't know, the confidence in every one of his play calls sometimes doesn't make sense. Not everything works, but to him, everything's guaranteed.
I mean, you remember all those times at Alabama when he's celebrating before the ball is even completed. I mean, that's the confidence he has in this system, and buckle up. Ole Miss is going to go lightning fast. And on the other side, South Carolina wants to slow this football game down when they're on offense.
South Carolina won the toss. The Gamecocks have elected to receive under the lights here in Oxford. Beautiful night for SEC football. Luke Logan gets us started. It's Dakereon Joyner who watches it go over his head. And the South Carolina offense, which is 95th in the country in passing, 99th in total offense, managed only a field goal last time out against Texas A&M, will be led by the Moore, South Carolina transfer, the product of Colorado State, Collin Hill. 59% completions on the season, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks. Last 2 games, he's thrown for a total of 300 yards, just 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. And they will hand it off on the first play to Kevin Harris, who has turned into a South Carolina workhorse, and he rips off a gain of 6.
And one thing you're going to notice here for South Carolina, they got a fullback in the game. Adam Prentice, number 46, a fullback. Tom, you don't see these much in this day and age in college football, but this is what this is what South Carolina wants to do. They want to play smash mouth football. This fullback's going to be leading up on linebackers, and that's going to hopefully help them control the line of scrimmage and keep this ball on the ground moving in the right direction.
Shi Smith motions towards the formation. He's their leading receiver. Now on 2nd and 4, they'll hand it off again, and Harris finds some room before he gets dropped down after picking up the first down. South Carolina, we told you, wants to run the football. Ole Miss has not been a good defensive team all season long. 120th in the country in total defense.
And that's going to be the story of the game. This D-line needs to play extremely well for Ole Miss. If you watch the Texas A&M game, South Carolina got beat up front. Ole Miss has got to dominate the line of scrimmage to slow this run game down.
Fullback leading the way, and they didn't get number 9. And a huge hit on the stop of Kevin Harris.
Oh, this is such a good job looking off the edge there. And you see penetration, right? If you don't allow double teams to get to the second level, your linebackers have free reign to evaluate where the run's going to be, shoot a gap, and make a play just like that.
Brandon Mack knifed his way through. It leaves 2nd and 11. And if South Carolina is going to be an obvious passing downs, they're going to be at a disadvantage tonight. Hill will get it to the outside. Shi Smith finds the edge, and he finds the sideline. Finally stepped out of bounds, and Smith is able to catch and run for 15 yards and a first down.
And if you're Ole Miss, you got to figure out how to slow 13 down. He's got 43 receptions on the year. The next wide receiver for South Carolina has 7. So when they throw the football, they want to go to 13. Ole Miss has got to find out where he is on the field at all times.
Mike Bobo told me before the game, guys, minimum 10 touches for Smith tonight. Said he'd like it to be up closer to 12 or 14.
6th in school history in career receptions. Here's Kevin Harris again. Harris has earned his way to being the featured back here at South Carolina. He was the first with 1,000 yards for the Gamecocks last year since Mike Davis in 2013. And a product of Hinesville, Georgia, was initially not highly recruited by Will Muschamp's staff. They said we weren't sure he had the top end speed that we require in the SEC. Invited him to camp, put up a good 40 number, boom, offered a scholarship on the spot, and he has earned that scholarship this year. Second down 7. Harris again.
Staying with that 40-time story, Tom, when Kevin Harris arrived on campus for camp, he ran that 40, needed to get into 4.5 for an offer, and did. However, one of the South Carolina coaches that was clocking him apparently didn't believe it and thought the time was wrong. They asked him to run it again, and he bettered the initial 40 time and went 4.51 on the second one. Got an offer from Will Muschamp. Now he's a South Carolina Gamecock.
It's kind of like eating dinner at the SIP. Like the first appetizer was really good. The second was even better. On 3rd and 4, it's Harris again, and a huge hole. And Kevin Harris carries it to the 30-yard line. 12-yard gain that time.
And we mentioned the fullback. Watch 46 right here, and this block off the edge is really going to set the edge, and that's how Kevin Harris gets up inside. Look at that block. That's exactly what they want out of their fullback, leading for the running back and creating holes.
Are fullbacks sexy?
I mean, that's a pretty sexy play if I'm a South Carolina fan, so yes.
He transferred in from Colorado State as a graduate, pursuing his master's in civil engineering. Harris again with the fullback out of the game. He gets swallowed up on that first down run. Let's take a look at our keys to the game.
And look, if you're South Carolina, I mentioned it, slow the game down, which they're doing right now. Control the game on the ground. And on defense, make Corral make decisions. The one team that slowed him down, Arkansas, played zone. Made him play quarterback, make decisions, and Ole Miss win the line of scrimmage, stop the run, and get the ball on the perimeter. when you're on offense.
That's Dr. Pepper Fansville, giving fans the keys to the game. High formation again. Throwback offense, and they'll throw out of it. That's complete to the edge. It's Shi Smith who takes it down to the 10. What an impressive opening drive for Carolina. It's been all Smith and Harris.
This is just a hitch route on the outside. And when you have the speed that Shi Smith has, you have to respect the over-the-top route. But, Tom, we just saw a 3-step drop from under center. I mean, when's the last time you saw that? I watch football every weekend. I've never seen, not in years, a 3-step drop from an I formation under center. Are you kidding me?
Everything old is new again. 10th play of the opening drive for the Gamecocks. Fade route, one-hand grab in the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina. What a catch by Shi Smith. And he'll draw a flag after taking the helmet off and posing for the crowd.
Are you kidding me? That's a catch of the year candidate right there.
I might take more of my helmet off if I made a catch like that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you blame him? Wow. I think we know what this flag is going to be.
David Smith is our referee.
The results of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 13. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. We'll have the try.
I mean, it's man coverage in the slot, and this is just an inside fade. It's exactly what you want if you're South Carolina. And, I mean, have you seen a better catch in college football? I don't know if I have. Goes up to get it. Mind you, he's 5'10", listed at 5'10". It's probably more like 5'9". Elevated and with one hand brought it down. That's an unbelievable play.
Point after is good from Parker White. A 10-play scoring drive that covered 75 yards, 5 minutes and 36 seconds. 7 Kevin Harris runs, and 3 receptions by this guy, Shi Smith. Only one hand needed. Promise a balanced attack for South Carolina. It's exactly what it was on their opening drive. 44 yards through the air, 31 on the ground to cover 75 every single play. Had a positive result for South Carolina, and you can't say that about their offense last week.
No, not at all. 150 yards last week. The offense was inept, but you're seeing why Cullen Hill is the starter, why they continue to roll with him, because if they can run the football effectively, all they need to do is provide some balance and take shots when they're there, and that's what Cullen Hill provides, the most talented thrower they have. And you saw a few of those on that drive. That's all he needs to do.
Will Muschamp all the way down by the kicking team, by the way. He's to the left of the man in stripes there at about the 24-yard line, taking advantage of the extended team box. Jerrion Ealy will take this one at the 19. Part-time outfielder who's drafted by the Diamondbacks rips it off past the 42, and that penalty results in great field position for the first possession of the night for this Ole Miss offense. 5th in the country in total offense under the direction of Matt Corral, who in the first half against Vanderbilt threw for 318 yards and 4 touchdowns in one half.
I'd be so happy if that was a game total for me, or any quarterback.
He ended up throwing for 412 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's put up video game numbers all season long. Sophomore out of Ventura, California, by way of Long Beach Poly. Toss to Jerrion Ealy. Pardon me, Elijah Moore with the carry. And there's one way to get Elijah Moore involved. They want to move Elijah Moore around the field so South Carolina can't defend him easily.
Yeah, I think if South Carolina had their choice, they'd love J.C. Horn, their best cover guy on the outside, to follow Elijah as much as possible. Problem is, he's all over the field, as you see right now in the backfield.
Mixing it up a little bit. Here's Moore again. He's got great vision, picks up a first down, and he does it, Cole, against a depleted South Carolina defense.
It's going to be down just a few numbers, guys. I know this offense is going to go fast, so I'll try to as well. 44 linebacker Sherrod Green, 45 Spencer Easton Riddle linebacker, DB Jamar Brown, number 8, Sam linebacker 19 Brad Johnson, defensive end 95 Alex Huntley, 15 defensive end Aaron Sterling, all going to be out for the South Carolina defense tonight.
Corral threads the needle down the sideline, and guess who it is? It's Elijah Moore again. The offense thus far has all gone through number 8, product out of Aquinas High School, Fort Lauderdale. There's a list of the missing defenders for a South Carolina squad. It came into this one 75th in the country in total D. Corral sidearms one out to the perimeter. It's Elijah Moore. 8 gets his name and number called again. He loses yardage, and that will leave 3rd and 3.
And this is why Ole Miss is so difficult to defend on offense. The tempo, and they mix that with how much they move, they shift, they move 8 around. You don't have much time to adjust.
There's Ely, who crawls his way forward for a first down. They're going to spot him short of it, and that'll leave 4th and 1. Ole Miss will stay on the field, I predict. Tough to find anybody who goes for it on 4th down more often than Lane Kiffin. Same play. Ely stays on his feet this time and picks up the first down. You'll hear advanced analytics thrown around a lot when it comes to Lane Kiffin and his offensive game plan. Here's what you need to know, according to Will Muschamp. He said, we cannot treat 3rd down like 3rd down. We got to treat 3rd down like it's 2nd down because of his proclivity to keep the offense on the field.
Anytime Ole Miss passes the opposite 40, be ready for a 4th down.
That's Moore in motion. They'll give the Ely going the other way. Got to make a man miss. Instead, he just runs into a dude. That's Jamie Robinson at safety, who comes up with the stop for Carolina.
I thought the best quote in reference to Ole Miss in 3rd and 4th downs was defensive coordinator Travaris Robinson telling us sometimes when he's watching film, he's not sure if they know it's 3rd down.
That was pretty funny. He said, I don't think they have any 3rd down plays. Corral pulls it back. Lob, Yeboah, the tight end. Couldn't quite get there.
And this is a guy that South Carolina is going to have to keep an eye on. He had a step there, Corral, to release it sooner than he wanted to. But right now, South Carolina choosing to man up across the board. There's going to be a mismatch because 84 for Ole Miss, Kenny Yeboah, it might as well be a receiver. He's that athletic out there. He's a walking mismatch. If there's a linebacker on him, Ole Miss is going to attack him.
Stoop Connor in for this 3rd down. Pardon me, that's Henry Parrish Jr. in. And Corral on an RPO keeps it, and he gets ridden down. But he took the linebacker with him. Carried Ernest Jones for a couple yards and may have turned into a first down.
And you'll see that you're not going to find a team that's going to run more in 3rd and medium situations because of what we talked about, the analytics. Anytime you're inside 5 on this side of the field on 4th, they're going to go for it. So pick up the first there, but expect a lot of runs on 3rd and medium to set up 4th downs.
10th play of the opening drive for Ole Miss, trying to answer Carolina. Corral with a bullet that's dropped on the perimeter. And a missed opportunity. Dontario Drummond, the intended receiver. By the way, injury of note, Ole Miss will have Jonathan Mingo available in only limited instances tonight. He's primarily out with an injury, though he could play if needed.
And it didn't sound like he was going to get much run. So look to Dontario Drummond, look to Braylon Sanders, who'll be playing on the left side for Ole Miss, that spot that Mingo is usually in. But again, they want to go to number 8. They want to find Elijah Moore as much as possible.
He's a better receiver than your telestrating skills tonight. You're having an off night. Corral loads up. Wide open in the flat is Henry Parrish, and the running back takes it inside the 10.
You know, Tom, we got these new telestrators, and it's a touch screen. Well, I like the little stylus pin. It's much smoother. You know, my finger sticks on this thing, and just bear with me.
You could never work election night. Those guys are pros.
Oh, man.
Somewhere John King is laughing at you. Corral on the bootleg, spins it out. He finds Elijah Moore, who takes it inside the 5. These, quote, little guys for Ole Miss are carrying South Carolina defenders with them.
Yeah, they're physical. I mean, anytime you're that stature, Jerion Ealy and Elijah Moore, you're lower. What is it? Lower
center of gravity?
That's what I was looking for. Center of gravity creates problems.
Yeboah, the tight end, gets submarined after a 2-yard gain. That'll set up 3rd and goal. Casey Kelly will run in and provide an extra tight end, and Snoop Connor will come into the backfield with Corral.
Here's where you got to watch out for a Matt Corral run. That zone read.
14th play of the opening drive for the Rebels. Corral fires to the 1 and taken in by Drummond. The Rebels answer with a lengthy drive of their own. A 14-play, 57-yard drive.
You go tempo, you look to the sideline, you see man coverage, just a little whip route. It's too easy when you have the tempo that Ole Miss does. You can press pause, see what the defense is in, and adjust the play accordingly.
Luke Logan for the point after. Well, looks like we're going to have limited possessions tonight because we've already got double-digit drive totals just 2 drives in. Matt Corral with his 19th touchdown pass of the season, and we're even at 7.
Dory Noka in studio. Let's update what's going on at the Swamp. 7-7 game. Arkansas went for it and did not get it around midfield on 4th down, ensuing Gator possession. Ravon Grimes. And Gators right now. Felipe Franks, though, does have a touchdown pass in his return again.
Right, Dari, thanks. Interesting matchup there. Sam Pittman out due to COVID protocol. Harry Odom leading the Razorbacks. Last time he led a team in there. Missouri swamped Florida in Gainesville. Look at these drives already. 10 plays, 5.5 minutes for South Carolina, 14 plays, and 4.5 minutes off the clock for Ole Miss. Might be able to make a dinner reservation. Here's Joyner, past the 20. And out to the 24-yard line. This is what happened on South Carolina's first drive of the night.
It's exactly how they drew it up in preparation for this game. Get the fullback involved, get the running game going downhill, get Ole Miss to stack the box, play man coverage on the outside, and find Shi Smith. I mean, that is exactly textbook what South Carolina wanted out of that first drive. Now, can they replicate it?
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to replicate it for 4 quarters because you know Ole Miss is going to be putting up points.
Hill was perfect, 3 for 3, all 3 to Smith, the senior out of Union County High School in South Carolina. Smith in motion. And he's 4 for 4 to number 13. Who draws a lot of attention as he gets shoved out of bounds after a gain of about 4. Colin Hill played at Colorado State for Mike Bobo. 18 games, made 11 starts. He suffered through 3 separate knee injuries. He tore his ACL 3 times. Most recently against Arkansas in a non-conference game in 2019 on a late hit. Came to South Carolina with Bobo, the longtime Georgia assistant, and sat out the spring. South Carolina, one of the few teams that actually got some practices in during the spring. Hill, man coverage over the top, and a diving effort is picked off. Intercepted by A.J. Finley. What a play by the sophomore defensive back.
And they got out of the looks that made them successful in the first drive. No fullback, and you got zone coverage. You can't float the ball that much. It's got to get up and down. And now Ole Miss with a chance to answer.
In the midst of that quarterback meeting on the South Carolina sideline is offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. There he is in the black hat and the headset, sitting next to Colin Hill. what was different about that one play from what South Carolina did on their first possession?
Well, look, we know they want to establish the run. They came out in that first drive with a fullback. A lot of old school lead blocking plays and then a couple play actions when you got man coverage on the outside. They came out with a tight end, no fullback. Ole Miss played zone, and a bad throw leads to an interception. Can't do it.
Elijah Moore rips this one up the hashes, and he takes it into South Carolina territory on the first snap of this drive for a gain of 22. This offense is running through 8 tonight.
And that's another reason why I'm surprised Mike Bobo got off of the run game so early, right? I mean, Ole Miss is so lethal on offense. You got to control the football.
Moore already has 6 touches tonight. And now a pitch to Snoop Connor's got a stiff arm, and he's escorted out of bounds after a gain of just 1. I want to go back to South Carolina's offense for a minute. Is it hard for an offensive coordinator to stick with the game plan? And I guess what I'm asking you is, was that play a part of the game plan, or did it go away from it?
I think it went away from it. Look, it was play action. You don't mind the thought process, but you came into this game wanting to establish the run, wanting to pound it, wanting it to be the staple. And second drive, after it working for a 10-play drive, you get away from it. I just thought it was too early.
We'll find out later if that was from a play call or a check from Colin Hill. Connor again, this time no gain.
You know, just to follow up on that time, I spoke to Mike Bobo about it before the game. I said, you just have to stick with it, right? And he said, I have to continue to be patient with our running game. I am going to take some shots every now and then, but I have to be patient and stick with it.
And that goes for the quarterback as well. Matt Corral looking at a 3rd down now.
And because of the analytics, this is where they want to pick up about 5 yards. So this play is going to be designed, might even be a run, to pick up about 4 to 5 yards to set them up to go for it on 4th.
Jeff Levy is the offensive coordinator. First year here at Ole Miss. Came from UCF. There's a handoff. Instead of 3, 4, 5 yards, they get nothing. And now they're left with a 4th and 8.
And see, the analytics here will tell you need to be about 4th and 4 to go for it, but it's game by game, and Kiffin's going to lean towards being aggressive.
Corral wants to go deep. Wide open. Elijah Moore's at it again. And Ole Miss first down. How did he get wide open? It goes for 23.
Well, he's manned up on Israel McQuamu, who's a great cover corner, but he's 6'4". Change of direction is not as easy for a big, lanky guy like that. And Elijah Moore, that's one of his strong suits. Change of direction, worked in, popped out, and was wide open.
Moore, last time out against Vandy, a school record 14 catches for 238 yards and 3 touchdowns. There's no secret what Ole Miss wants to do. They give it to Moore again, and he slides his way to the edge and is able to pick up 9 yards on first down, actually make it 10. And Ole Miss will be looking at a 1st and goal.
Reminds me a lot of what the Packers used to do with Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
Early in his career, he'd be in the backfield, he'd be in the slot, he'd be out wide, moving around everywhere to find creative ways to get him the ball. That's what they're doing with Elijah Moore right now.
The only thing Moore hasn't done tonight is return kicks. Not a first down. This is 2nd and 1 after the spot. Snoop Connor has it, and he's got a first down for the Rebels.
Well, I tell you guys, that's the 2nd consecutive play that 64. The left tackle, Nick Broker, has had his defender a good 5-6 yards down the field. Something that's become a regular occurrence from him. He put the Arkansas game on. He's driving a guy to the back of the end zone last week against Vanderbilt. Dumped 2 defenders on the rear ends.
Here's Connor again. No, Corral keeps, and he's in for an Ole Miss touchdown. And the Rebels have their first lead of the night.
Watch 27 right here on the edge of the line of scrimmage. See, I'm working with this telly. It's impossible. I'm gonna give up on this thing, but the eyes in the backfield, right? Anytime Ole Miss is going that fast, it's easy on the outside to get your eyes caught in the backfield. Lose sight of Matt Corral, and he'll make you pay.
Logan's point after is good, and Ole Miss has taken a 14-7 lead. Couple key plays on that drive. Perhaps none bigger than the 4th down pass to Elijah Moore, in which he was able to work his way open. This is what we're talking when it comes to play calling for Lane Kiffin and Jeff Levy. You expect most teams to run on 3rd and short. They don't. They throw it. You'd expect most teams to throw it on 3rd and long. They don't. They run it. It's completely backwards.
Yeah, I mean, third down becomes second down. Fourth down becomes third. You know, it's just the way they set up plays on third down. They're not, third, medium, and long, they're not trying to get 8, 9, 10 yards and pick up the first. They're trying to set themselves up for a fourth and short. And it's a numbers game, right? It's giving your offense data and insights instead of leaning on instincts. It takes the emotion out of it, and when you consistently make these decisions, the data tells you over a course of a season, it'll be more points and more wins.
Auburn defensive coordinator Kevin Steele referred to Lane Kiffin as a play caller, like a Las Vegas gambler playing with house money.
I love sitting at the table with house money. I feel bulletproof, you know? It's when that house money goes away and I got to turn to Tom Hart and say, hey, you got 10 for me?
Give me some chips. I'll pay you back. Another opportunity for South Carolina. Not to harp on it, but going back to the interception for Colin Hill and the subsequent conversation with his offensive coordinator, how much of that was a play call from the sideline and what Colin Hill may have changed to at the line of scrimmage?
I think it was a play call. It looked like a play action, but notice now 46 is on the field. So that fullback is now back in the game. They go back to the personnel grouping that they had success with, a tight end and a fullback. You're going to see them both on this side right here. We'll figure that out soon. Back to that heavy set, and I expect some runs here.
They'll switch him over to the right side. He's out to block in his wide receiver screen. And a very physical catch and run for Shi Smith.
You mentioned the interception. Was it Colin Hill making a decision on his own? That play right there is where he does make a decision, right? Anytime you get a fullback on the field, if Ole Miss is going to stack the box, put 8 guys in the box, that's where Colin Hill has the autonomy to say, okay, let's just flip it outside to Shi Smith for an extension of the run game. Those are the decisions that he makes, and that's why he's the starter tonight.
Quarterback under center, I formation. Kevin Harris again. Big hole, and Harris finally brought down in the secondary. Miles battle with the stop. It's a 14-yard run for Harris. First quarter has already wrapped up. They'll be on the square early tonight. Ole Miss with a 14-7 lead.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Dorian O'Kane in studio with your AT&T 5G studio update. Kyle Trask, third passing touchdown of the night. This one to Justin Shorter. Arkansas answered back. First offensive play of the next drive with an 83-yard touchdown run. 21-14 Gators.
Dari, thanks. Gators dominating time of possession in that one. What do you think about the throwback orange jersey wearing?
I love them. You know what? I thought that game would be close for a while.
Yeah.
All right, Arkansas is going to have a good plan on defense. See if they can hold on.
All right. What is Ole Miss's plan on defense? Because Kevin Harris is just slashing him. That one goes for 11.
Well, the problem is when you base out of a 3-down front, it's tougher to be physical from tackle to tackle and into B gaps. And we talked to Momo Sanogo, linebacker for Ole Miss, and I asked him, when's the last time you saw a fullback?
Yeah.
He said, 2018 LSU. So it's just not something they practice again. It looks a little different than they're used to when you're reading direction of the run, the guards, used to reading it off a tight end. So it may take them a little bit to get acclimated.
Here's a handoff and a huge run. This time a different draw up, and they're going to take it all the way for a touchdown. It's Kevin Harris again. Set it between the tackles. He goes outside, and 46 yards later, he's in the end zone.
But that's the problem, right? You're getting gashed between the tackles, so you tighten up inside, and then you get beat on the perimeter. It's a great block on the outside there by Gwynn to set the edge, and Harris does a good job. Remember that top-end speed?
Yeah, showed it.
That's plenty of top-end speed there.
Third in the league in yards per game, and he's already over 100 in this one. Came in averaging 96. Parker White's point after. Special teams are all good. What a quarter, what a half already for Kevin Harris, a sophomore out of Hinesville, Georgia. He's off and running, and so is South Carolina. We're tied again. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Nets might be busy tonight. A lot of extra points already.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if South Carolina makes any adjustments on defense, right? What we've seen slow Ole Miss down is that drop 8 zone. And South Carolina hasn't really dipped into that pool yet tonight. And I wonder if at some point they do, because Elijah Moore is exposing them in man coverage right now.
Of course, run it for 22. He's caught 57 yards worth of passing. Fair catch on the kickoff. Game day came to you from Augusta National this morning. How about that look? It was fantastic. Dustin Johnson, 16 under, is your leader through Saturday's action. Justin Thomas, 6-10 under. Cameron Champ out of A&M is tied for 15th. Florida's Billy Horschel is up there. Bubba Watson tied for 36. How about John Augenstein? Currently a student at Vandy. He's the second low AM. He's tied for 50th right now. He's walking that course with a Vandy golf bag and an SEC bag tag.
Go Doors, let's go. And walking next to some legends, chasing down Dustin Johnson, setting records with a low score. Shot 200 through 54, ridiculous.
Pretty good. Snedeker, Kistner out of Georgia, Brandon Todd out of Georgia, part of 8 from the SEC schools.
Just means more, Tom.
Just does.
Even in golf.
I just think it's really cool. The amateurs, you show up.
Yeah.
You think, okay, I get a practice round. A couple practice rounds. I get Thursday and Friday, and that's already a good weekend. He's sticking around for the whole thing. Here's Jerrion Ealy, who takes it to the left side and is able to pick up 5. Jerrion Ealy is a really interesting individual. He is a fantastic guy just to sit and talk ball with. He was drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks out of high school, Jackson Prep down in Jackson, Mississippi. And he's one of the best running backs in college football. Yet, kind of like Bo Jackson did in the mid-90s, he says football's a hobby. Ealy, huge run, pretty good hobby. Jerrion Ealy inside the 40, and he carries it down to the 30. 39-yard run for Ealy.
And he mentioned this is his favorite run play, the stretch. Why? Because you get the defense to overcommit, you stick your foot in the ground, and you get vertical. Little taste of the athleticism from a guy that football's just his second sport. Unbelievable.
Injured player on the field for South Carolina. 14 all here. Let's get you back to the studio for an update with Dari.
Yeah, guys, what Kyle Trask is doing is flat out silly. Already 3 touchdown passes. Here's number 4 to Jacob Copeland. Extends his SEC record to now 6 straight games with at least 4 touchdown passes. It's 28-14, and the Gators have it back.
Dari, Trask is the second player of the last 20 years to throw 4 passing touchdowns in each of his team's 6 games. The last to do it with Graham Harrell in that high-octane Texas Tech offense in 2007.
And Tom, it's all SEC games. I mean, he's setting records for touchdown passes through this part of the season, and there's no cupcakes. There's no out-of-conference to pad the stats.
Not a good scene for South Carolina. Israel Mukuamu, who is as versatile as they come on the defensive side. Remember last year against Georgia, 11 tackles and 3 picks. And a junior from Bossier City, Louisiana, is being helped off the field. He's valuable because he can play both corner and safety. And they're already down to only 2 healthy linebackers. They're missing 2 more on the defensive line. They expect to have an extra defensive back on the field more often than not. This is a huge blow to their depth.
No, it's huge. He's one of their best cover guys. You've already seen him match up a few times on Elijah Moore. Like you mentioned, his versatility. He can play on the back end at safety. He can play and press on the outside. It's good to see him get up and walk off. You hope it's just not that serious with all the injuries South Carolina already is dealing with. Keep an eye on Elijah Moore in the slot at the top of your screen. Getting coverage over to him late.
Ealy will take it on the right side. South Carolina has it sniffed out, trying to hang a U-turn. Ended up going the wrong way. R.J. Roderick made his way into the backfield for the stop, and it'll be a loss of about 9 yards. Shiloh Sanders is in the game at safety for South Carolina. That's Deion's son, taking Mukwamu's place in the back end. Corral wanting to throw. It is caught. Fantastic hands coming back over the middle by Braylon Sanders with a catch in front of John Dixon.
That's just an unbelievable throw by Matt Corral. Look at the accuracy right there. It's great coverage. Great coverage by John Dixon. Just a better place ball.
Ole Miss trying to pick up the tempo here on 3rd and short. They run it straight ahead with Henry Parrish Jr. It's an Ole Miss first down. Can we just take a moment to appreciate these unis?
Oh, gorgeous.
The crowd does everything, helping Yeboah with his chin strap. Corral 9 of 11 to start this game for 89 yards and a touch. Swing pass, here's Yeboah. That's why he wanted to fix his chin strap. He said, all right, I'll fix this and I'm coming right to you. And the senior transfer from Temple has a big play. And we got a flag on the play.
Illegal shift on the offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Take the catch away from Yeboah.
Yeah, he maybe didn't get set there. Yep. Didn't get set, was moving at the same time as Yeboah.
All the film you've watched on Ole Miss, have you seen Elijah Moore been used this much in the backfield?
No.
Corral. Fake the sweep, goes over the middle. Another big play coming, and this time he's able to find Elijah Moore, gain of 12.
Now you see him move a ton all season, but you haven't seen him from the backfield as much as you do tonight. Again, the more they move him around, the harder it is for South Carolina to match him with J.C. Horn, which is what they really want to do.
Ernest Jones in the stop for South Carolina. Cole's boy Nick Broker's going to run back to the huddle once again. The left tackle was 10 yards downfield. He is flat paving the way. They'll turn and hand it off again. Running behind Broker. And an Ole Miss first down right at the 10-yard line.
You know, it was interesting hearing Jerrion Ely talking about Nick Broker. He's like, guys, wait till next year. He's going to be one of the best tackles in the league. I think it's time to start having that conversation with Nick Broker. This 3-4 games in a row, he's been playing at an elite level.
Out of Springfield, Illinois, we also played on the hardwood at Sacred Heart Griffin, and Cole gives him the announcer jinx.
Feel like
False start on the offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Start hyping up an offensive lineman, it goes straight to his head, just like anytime we say anything good about Cole.
They're a bunch of divas, offensive linemen. What does Cole love more? Great left tackles or a plate of Brussels sprouts?
Oh, that's close. The way he demolished the Brussels last night.
Loaded backfield for Corral. Little toss, and it turns into a sweep. And Elijah Moore is so good with the ball in his hand, he takes it inside the 5. They've had great receivers here at Ole Miss over the years. Of course they have. But they've all been big dudes. Starting with Laquan Treadwell. Elijah Moore is 5'8", 185.
Hey, you think of DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, number 11 on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
I think Ontario Drummond's flag is what has led to the injured player for South Carolina. Back to that in a moment. Metcalf, 6'4", 235, a physical specimen. Treadwell, big. A.J. Brown, big. Elijah Moore. If these were nesting dolls, Elijah Moore would be the last one you pull out.
Yeah, you'd start with DK and go down from there. It's, you know, you can't put them in a box, right? I mean, there's not one way to be successful as a quarterback. There's not one way to be successful as a receiver. I mean, what stands out about Elijah, He's an elite route runner. I mean, it's unbelievable. When you really break down the film, he had 2 slant goes last week against Vandy that were just unbelievable routes. I don't care if it was Alabama on the other side. He'd have been wide open just the same.
The blindside block occurred at the 12-yard line, 15 yards from that spot.
Jamie Robinson out of Leesburg, Georgia, is the injured game clock. The safety being helped off the field. And Robinson, after that block, got pinballed around off of his linebacker, Ernest Jones. Watch the hit on 7.
I mean, back in the day, that's offensive coordinators want to dial up that block right there. I mean, that was a kill shot, we used to call it back in the day. You can't do that anymore.
No longer legal.
No, they want to protect player safety, which I think is really important. And there's ways you can get those blocks in, but not like they used to.
I know what's going on.
But it's getting dire in the secondary right now for South Carolina with McQuamu going out, now Jamie Robinson.
After the penalty, 1st and goal from the 27-yard line. Corral's got Yeboah. Instead, he wants to sidearm one over the middle, and that's complete. And that'll take him down almost to the 12-yard line. Arm angle impressive for Corral.
I mentioned it in the open, right? He makes Patrick Mahomes type throws. The way he changes his arm angle, moving one direction, being able to change his arm angle, whip it back the other.
Lob, end zone, touchdown! Ole Miss, Jerrion Ealy. From a 1st and goal at the 27-yard line. 2 plays later, this explosive Ole Miss offense puts it in.
It's just the misdirection, then they come at you with a hard play action, and this is usually the pop pass you see to Yeboah. Instead, they motion Yeboah to suck those linebackers up, and Jerrion Ealy hits you over the top. It's just great play design by Lane Kiffin and Jeff Lebby.
Point after is good. High-scoring first half. Matt Corral is thrown for his 2nd touchdown of the night. And Ole Miss bounces back in front by 7.
Dorian O'Kane in studio. It continues at the Swamp. Kyle Trask to Keon Zipperer. No Kyle Pitts. They have found plenty of weapons. 35-14. 27th touchdown pass of the season for Trask, ties Tua for the most in conference history through 6 games.
And he's done it against pressure. He's done it when they didn't bring pressure. 2 for 3 touchdowns against the blitz. 16 of 19 when they don't bring pressure, and 3 more touchdowns.
Let's stop messing around. He is the Heisman favorite right now. A lot of people like to forget about him after the loss, after they had 2 weeks off. There is nobody playing at a higher level right now than Kyle Trask.
Return out to the 20-yard line for South Carolina. Gives us a chance to take a look at the road to the championship, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Not sure what SEC schedule is going to look like going forward. We may even have it changed as soon as tomorrow or Monday morning. But what seems evident, no matter who they play, Florida is the class of the East.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They separated themselves with what they did to Georgia on the opposite side of the ball, and they're on a collision course right now with Alabama.
How many total points would you predict are going to be scored in the SEC championship game?
Are you kidding me?
Great play in the backfield. The Land Sharks are at it. And Brandon Mack, the freshman from Montgomery, Alabama, comes up with a stop.
I think that's Tylan Knight, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
And remember, Tylan Knight has played on both sides of the ball. He's starting at nickel tonight with Jalen Jordan out. He's a guy that started at running back, and then DJ Durkin's like, hey, does that guy, can he play over here? Which he had before, and he's helped him out on that side of the ball.
He is pinballed back and forth. He was a slot receiver early in the season last year. Second and 16. Fullback and a tight end both on the field for South Carolina. Huge hole for Kevin Harris. And Harris gets tripped up at the 45-yard line. They'll spot him at the 48, a 33-yard run.
Watch backside. Lakia Henry there, number 0. He just overcommits to the run, and that opens up a huge cutback lane for Fenwick.
Yeah, Deshaun Fenwick, not Harris. 1-2 punch and tailback after Harris was so good in the first quarter, already going over 100 yards. So chance for the Bradenton, Florida native to get some run here. It's Fenwick again, and he's past midfield.
This is a huge drive for South Carolina. Not just to get points. You'd love to get points on this drive, no doubt, but you got to start grinding out the clock. Right? The injuries you had at linebacker coming into the game, now 2 injuries in the secondary on defense. I mean, even if you're optimistic, you're not thinking you're going to slow Ole Miss down a ton as this game goes on with the injuries you've sustained, right? So grinding out the clock and getting points on every drive is paramount right now for South Carolina.
Five left on the play clock. Muse will line up at fullback now. They get the play off with 1. It's Fenwick again.
Why would you do anything else right now? I mean, again, we said it to start. When's the last time you saw an I formation, right? This time it's Muse at fullback. It's been Adam Prentice, their actual fullback. But every time they've gotten in that I formation, they've gone downhill with success. If I'm Mike Bobo, keep dialing it up. You're milking clock, and you're moving the chains.
Quarterback sneak for the first down there. Will Muschamp has said, listen, guys, we've got to be different to be successful here. And he tried going up tempo. He tried going spread over the last couple of seasons. Dialed it back to his buddy Mike Bobo. They played together at the University of Georgia. Asked Mike, you remember meeting Will? He said, yeah, I was just a lowly freshman. Eric Zier was hitting golf balls in the parking lot, making the freshman go chase him. Will wasn't doing it, but he was laughing about it. Hill to throw. Shot down the sideline, and a sensational catch made by Shi Smith. 35 yards.
And I was talking about Elijah Moore's route running ability. Look at the double move. That's a great job of stopping your feet, waiting for the DB to make a move, and then accelerating out of it. I was about to say before that play, as an offensive coordinator, you don't want to get greedy here, right? The run goes successful a couple times. Any offensive coordinator's thinking play action, but hey, it didn't pay off earlier when they threw the interception. There, it paid off in a big way.
Only incompletion for Colin Hill so far tonight was that pick. He's 7 of 8 for 82 yards. Fenwick. Maybe a yard.
This might be an area of the field that we might see Luke Doty.
Yep.
The talented runner, true freshman quarterback. Obviously, it's still Colin Hill out there, but at some point we're going to see a little Wildcat action from Luke Doty.
Got all the bigs in the game now. Fenwick, the lone back. And he gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Jaquez Jones, the Tuscaloosa native.
And you're not going to see Doty here. This is a passing situation.
Yes, we are. Wait a second.
They're thinking about it. Okay. So what this tells me, 2 down. Yeah, this might be 2 down territory. If you're bringing Doty out here, you're thinking, let's pound it twice in a row. We can pick up 4 yards running the football twice in a row here. You're going to see a run inside the tackles. You're going to get 4 going downhill here.
Doty, freshman from Myrtle Beach. He'll take it behind Prentice, and he crawls his way down to the 1-yard line. Ball came out. Ole Miss came away with it. Question will be whether or not Doty was down.
Ruling on the field was the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose. 4th down.
Boy, see, now they're going to take Doty out here. I would have ran it back, line up and run it back as we see here. Tough to tell there.
I just saw it on the big board. It looked like it was loose.
Really?
That ball is out. And the remaining question is if his knee was down. They will buzz down and take a further look.
Previous plays under further review, the ruling on the field was the runner was down prior to losing possession.
Stan Murray is the replay official. They've got to decide when that left knee hits the ground, did he have control of the ball with the point in his hand with the body extended? My gut tells me no. Ole Miss by a touchdown.
And this one was really close. Watch the right knee. You're going to see it come right in there. It's down just before the ball comes loose, so they confirm that. Call on the field stands.
You did not circle his knee. You would be terrible at operation.
You know, it's a moving target. I got these sweaty fingers. It's a touch screen. Let's just forget about the telly. 4th and goal. They've got Hill in at quarterback. It took Doty out. I formation with an extra tight end. Straight ahead. And he's in. It took him a minute to send the signal. I didn't know if the knee was down inside the 1, but South Carolina with a touchdown plunge is able to get it thanks to Kevin Harris. And just back to that I formation. They're playing smash mouth football right now. Watch the fullback leading up into the hole. Creates a mess, and Harris does a great job of reading it, sidestepping, finding the lane, and getting over the goal line. Great answer for South Carolina. A 10-play, 79-yard drive that took 5:54 off the clock. 2 different quarterbacks on that one. Only complaint there is that you only took 5 minutes off. right. Couldn't stretch it to 6. Jordan circling random body parts. Kevin Harris, 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. We've hit 21 early.
Regents halftime report coming up. Dory Doring-Chiz at an emotional day in Lexington. We will take you through it. Kyle Trask, 5 first-half touchdown passes. Florida's rolling right now. What do you see from the first half here?
2 big-time receivers, Elijah Moore, Shi Smith going at it, Chiz.
7 possessions, 6 touchdowns.
Did we expect much difference? See you in a few.
All right, Dari, thanks. You mentioned Lexington. We're wearing our Schlarman Strong bracelets after the Kentucky offensive line coach lost his battle with cancer this week. More on that at the half. We'll have Kentucky, Alabama next week. It will certainly be another emotional game for the Cats. 21 all here. 3.5 minutes still to go in the first half. TD, TD, TD. That's a pretty good start. Nobody's stopping anybody tonight. No. And you wonder if this is where South Carolina starts to make adjustments on defense, right? You lose 2 guys that are 2 of your better cover guys in the back end. So you start to switch to more zone, try to keep everything in front of you, make Corral dink and dunk. Jamie Robinson and Israel Mukuamu both out for South Carolina. Ole Miss in the run game. And it's Elijah Morgan. Pardon me, that was Jerry Neely. No, it was more. Huh. I'm not going to make fun of your telestrations again. The 8 and the 9 down there look very similar. 2nd about 6. Corral looking for number 8. Instead, he's going to go deep, wide open, and he puts it on target to Braylon Sanders. 52-yard play for Ole Miss. Corral smells blood in the water. They're attacking the back end of South Carolina. Elijah Moore from the backfield into the 10 and shoved out of bounds there. Even when it's not thrown or handed to Elijah Moore, he has an effect on that play. He ran a dig route. Safety drove hard on it. That leaves nobody on the back end, and Braylon Sanders was wide open because of it. All that attention going to number 8. Here's Snoop Connor with a touch. And Connor will get wrestled down at the 5-yard line after a gain of just 1. R.J. Roderick coming up from his safety spot. Second and goal. Corral pumps, tries to dance up the middle, and he gets taken down inside the 5. Corral wants him on the ball quickly. It is very specific, Ole Miss, in the details. They'll even make sure the right official gets the football after a play so they can go fast. And South Carolina is going to use a timeout.
South Carolina, they're first. This will be a 30-second timeout.
About it earlier this season, and he said the first thing he learned about going fast in Jeff Levy's system, if you give it to the wrong ref, he's then got to get it to the guy who's spotting the ball. So you just run it to the guy who's in the middle of the field. Or, like Matt Corral, you can just throw deep to Braylon Sanders.
And watch what I'm talking about. You're going to see this safety right here bite up. And that opens up the hole. He's going to bite on Elijah Moore underneath, and that's going to open up the hole behind him. You see that? For Braylon Sanders. It's just a high-low. Anytime you get that cover 4 look, you want to high-low that. I'm figuring it out over here. See the arrow?
Yeah, it was very Kornacki of you. You nailed it. Never seen you work hack.
You know, it's in-game adjustments, Tom. I'm making an in-game adjustment on my telly right now. I'm figuring it out, just like South Carolina is trying to solve this puzzle, the Ole Miss offense.
What do you do, though, as a quarterback? You're obviously aware Jamie Robinson's out, Mukwamu's out. How does that affect your eyes and where you look for big plays?
Are you kidding? I mean, you walk to the line of scrimmage and you're just scanning, right? Where's my matchup? Where's my man coverage? There's blood in the water. You're trying to attack, and nobody more dangerous with that type of attitude than Matt Corral.
They're going to stack the slot receivers and now move Kelly. Corral. Pressure. And he lost the football on the way down. South Carolina couldn't grab it. And Ole Miss will be left with a 4th down. All they had to do was stop and pick up the football. Still no signal from the referee.
And that's Robinson. Jamie Robinson back in the game. Good to see that his injury wasn't significant. He's in there making impact already. Right away.
And the question will be on this, did South Carolina have control before it was carried out of bounds by John Dixon?
This will be a good look right here. Similar to a catch, you got to establish control and have a foot. Couldn't tell there. His foot was in.
Offense is off the field regardless for Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin will send out the kicking team. Luke Logan's only attempted 4 field goals this season. See if this will tell us.
It's really hard to see. I mean, he makes a concerted effort to drag that foot.
Yeah, and if that left foot is down, he's got control of it before the right foot comes down out of bounds.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, I can't answer it, is if the left foot is in bounds. This will give us an idea.
It looks like it, but yeah, it looks like that left foot is in.
The referee, you see him right there on top of the play, never signaled that it was a change of possession.
After further review, the defender from South Carolina did have possession before going out of bounds. Therefore, it is first down, South Carolina on the 8-yard line.
What a huge play by the Gamecocks. Decimated defensively, and they come away with the takeaway after Corral put it on the ground.
You know, DBs always want to be receivers. Well, he got a chance there, and a nice toe tap on the sideline by John Dixon to get control and the wherewithal to make sure he drags his feet, gets his feet in bounds. I mean, that's a huge play for South Carolina. You take points off the board, and you get a chance here with 2 timeouts to take the lead going into half.
Colin Hill, a quarterback for South Carolina, out of the shotgun. Running game stifled on that play. Kevin Harris again.
And here's where you got to be really careful if you're Colin Hill. Shi Smith has, what, 7 receptions tonight? All 7 receptions for South Carolina. Ole Miss knows that's where they want to go with the ball. If you get in a passing situation here, got to make sure you're not forcing it and giving the ball back to Ole Miss.
7 catches for 82 yards already for Smith. Here's Harris again, lost his footing in the backfield and goes down.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss will use a timeout with under a minute to go.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute. 1-0-0. Thank you.
So I know you're probably trying to figure out where to get your Christmas gifts, and I have the answer for you right here at Academy Sports and Outdoors. They have everything that you might need, including trampolines. Let's just not wait to wrap up the trampoline, put it under the tree. Just go ahead and get it right now so you can have fun all season long, right?
Great quarterback play in this one. Colin Hill, 7 of 8 for 82 yards and a touchdown. Matt Corral, 14 of 16 with 2 touchdowns. But each of them have turned the ball over in a most inopportune spot.
Yeah, this is where, if you're South Carolina, it's got to be something safe, right? It's either a handoff, it's a screen. I think you want to force Ole Miss to use another timeout, put them down to 1, punt the football away, and make them hit a big play or two to try to get a field goal. But high percentage throw here. Maybe even just a quick throw out here to Shi Smith at the top of your screen.
Trips to the right, Smith, the middle receiver in that formation. 5 wide, Hill pressured, gets it away. First completion to anyone not named Shi Smith.
And that's a good job. You force Ole Miss to use a timeout.
Timeout, Ole Miss. Their second. Should be a 30-second timeout.
Jalen Brooks with the catch. Timeout Ole Miss with 54 seconds left.
It's good to see Jalen Brooks get involved as well. The former transfer from Wingate. Didn't join the team until August. Had 3 drops against Texas A&M. You know, South Carolina is searching for that number 2 receiver. Who can complement Shi Smith? It's a big body, talented receiver that they're trying to get more involved and trying to get some confidence.
This will be the first punt of the night for either side.
4th and 5. Ole Miss is going to come after this one.
Kai Kroger punting from the end zone. And Will Muschamp is going to use a timeout here.
Timeout, South Carolina. Their second.
What's the purpose of that
30-second timeout.
Yeah, you come out, you see it looks like Ole Miss was going to come after that. So you want to have a conversation. Okay, let's make sure you know who you're blocking. You know what we're doing if they're coming from the left side or the right side. You know, he has his coaches up in the box saying it looks like they're coming from the right side. So right now he's talking about protection. Last thing you want is a blocked punt, a bad snap. Got to have good operation here. Sure up the protection. And now, Ole Miss might say, okay, let's set up for a return.
Elijah Moore is back there for the punt return to your Randall Cobb comp earlier in the game. He only has 2 punt returns in the season.
Playing the hot hand, right?
Yep.
House money.
Double down. Moore will back off of it. It'll take a South Carolina hop, and just as importantly, it'll take a few more ticks off the clock. 44 seconds remain. The 49-yard punt for the freshman Kai Kroger. Mentioned a good quarterback play, efficient in this one. Here's a look at the particulars with Matt Corral leading the offense back on the field in South Carolina territory. What can this offense draw up?
Well, you want to try to find Elijah Moore. Obviously, he's going to be in the slot at the top of your screen. With the timeout, you can still attack the middle of the field. I expect them to try to get some deeper crossers and hit something in that intermediate range for Elijah Moore.
Let's go,
44 seconds left in the half. Trying to get 10 on the first play, and they'll mark it short of the first down. Clock will roll.
And South Carolina is playing one high man coverage. They got to be careful. Ole Miss could take a shot here. Now they get into 2 safety look.
Ole Miss has a timeout remaining, 24 seconds left.
I was surprised they came out in man coverage. One high safety there.
Timeout. Ole Miss. Their third and final timeout of the half.
Now Lane
This will be a
Kiffin
30-second timeout.
is not crazy about the kicking game for a couple of different reasons. Logan has only attempted 4 on this season, but it's also about the points and the analytics. Obviously 7 is more than 3 if you go. I won't waste your time with it, but I just think that even in an end of game situation, he probably has more confidence in Matt Corral's arm than trotting Logan out for a long field goal. His long the season is 39.
Absolutely, and no timeout here. You need a chunk play because you want to get at least to the probably, 25 before Kiffin's going to entertain a field goal. So you need a big chunk play. If it is past the sticks, clock will pause. You got to get to the ball quickly and spike it.
Career long for Logan is 41. He missed from 42 in the last game against Vandy. 23 seconds left in the half. Moore in the slot on the right side. Corral looking left. Pressured, and he flips it forward for an incomplete pass. That's a heads-up play by Matt Corral, which will stop the clock.
An even better play on the outside by Jabari Ellis here. Beating Cole's guy, Nick Broker.
Ellis ran out of his shoe. Was Corral down, right knee?
Yeah, it looks like he was. Which that means the clock would run.
Yep.
You gonna take a look at this?
Apparently not.
Huh. That's a gift for Ole Miss.
Corral looking man coverage on the left side. Coming back right side. He's got Yeboah with a step. Underthrown, incomplete, but a flag down on Jamie Robinson over from his safety spot.
Boy, this is one of the few missed throws by Matt Corral. Yeboah had a
Pass
step.
interference on the defense, number 7. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Boy, Yeboah had a step here. If that ball is out in front and over the top, that's a touchdown. But if you're gonna miss short. You got a big tight end out there, 6'4", 240. A jump ball is not a bad thing, or in the case here where Jamie Robinson is out of position, doesn't get eyes on the ball, 15 free yards.
Pass interference happened inside the 5, but college rules, obviously, you're only up to the 32-yard line. Still a lot of territory. Corral, 7 seconds left. Swings it out. Connor will stay in bounds, and he gets taken down inside the 5, and that's how the half will end. Fire drill for Ole Miss. 27-yard gain to end the half. Triple zeros are on the clock. South Carolina's running off. Officials are spotting the ball.
This is where you gotta know how much time's on the clock. Connor does a good job, but right here,
Go.
straight out of bounds.
South Carolina's huddling up.
There's a second. There's 1
The
second on the
previous
clock.
play is under further review. The ruling on the field was the clock was at 0 prior to the stepping out of bounds.
He was directing his team to actually go into the half, now calling them back out as the officials, I think, told him what you guys just said, that there's 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, right foot for Snoop Connor hits out of bounds with just barely 1 second on the clock again. You'd love if he got out of the bounds earlier. But watch the right foot right here. And the clock. Bam.
The longest second ever.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's a fan of having 1 more second on the clock.
South Carolina still trying to get guys out of the locker room.
Well, the official is still on the headset, and Ole Miss is anxious to snap it.
After further review, there was 1 second when the player stepped out of bounds. He reset the game clock to 0-1. Thank you.
The special teams got to be ready to go on the line. The ball is obviously spotted. There's the whistle. And if fits in the left upright from Luke Logan, and Ole Miss is able to put together a last-second scoring drive to close the half in a 3-point lead. A thriller here tonight. Will Muschamp should put the mask back on. Can't hide the emotions with the officiating tonight. Ole Miss with the lead.
Welcome into the Regents halftime report. Dari Doran Chiswick here. That was a big one.
Well, things are a little bit quiet around Oxford these days. No party in the Grove, but the party's in the stadium tonight. 24-21, a lot of offense. Sam Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. Not a great night to be a punter. We've only seen one punt, but the quarterbacks are having a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and if you're South Carolina, this is the game plan you wanted. Colin Hill has been efficient through the air, and Kevin Harris has 100 yards on the ground. So you look at the scoreboard, and yeah, you're down 3, but I think it's right where South Carolina wanted to be.
Let's take a look at the difference in this game. Those 3 points at the end of the half for Ole Miss. And this is how it played out. Snoop Connor gets out of bounds with just 1 second left on the clock. Gave Ole Miss a chance to set up for a field goal. They got it. Will Muschamp not happy. We'll show you exactly why. We don't think it was because of the time on the clock. It was because of this play. Matt Corral flicks this thing incomplete, but his knee was down. It wasn't ruled down on the field. There apparently was no review from the instant replay booth. That was the difference in Ole Miss having enough time to score.
Yeah, and there was about 18 seconds left on the clock. If they review that 10-second runoff, now you're inside 8 when the ball snapped, and Ole Miss probably doesn't get points.
First half stats brought to you by Zaxby's. A lot of numbers. It equals a lot of offense. 26 combined first downs in this one. Ole Miss and South Carolina in a shootout. Here we go. Ready to go and start this second half. It'll be Ole Miss football. And Elijah Moore, Jerry Neely, no return. Cole, what did you learn at the half?
Well, I spoke to Lane Kiffin coming out, and I said, was there anything about the offense in the first half you didn't like? He said, just the fumble, one play. That was it. He said, we got to score when we have the football. Have to try to find a way to stop the run. He said, Cole, this is offense that had 150 yards of offense last week. We've got to make some plays on defense.
Yeah, what a difference a week makes. 238 yards of offense for South Carolina tonight. Gamecocks turned it over on their second possession, but battled back against a depleted Ole Miss defense. Both of them bothered by injuries. Corral on first down wants to throw, and that one's complete to Elijah Moore, who last week against Vandy had 14 catches. This one is his 9th of the night, 3rd in the country with over 10 catches per game. Corral pulls it back. Flicks complete to Drummond, and he spins his way free inside the 45 and down to the 40. Off-platform throws for Matt Corral. Why are they so important? What does that mean?
Well, it's the ability under pressure to still generate velocity. Look at that. He's falling back. He's still able to generate velocity and accuracy with that throw. South Carolina defender made a break on that. If that's inaccurate or doesn't have as much juice on it, that could be an interception. Jarian Ealy, the two-sport star for Ole Miss, stopped at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Keir Thomas with the tackle for South Carolina. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. A fumble by Corral inside the 10. Snuffed a would-be Ole Miss scoring drive. Corral pressured by Thomas from behind. Runs away from him and slides down. Spotted at the start of the slide. It's only a gain of 3. South Carolina still looks like they're okay playing man coverage. You're going to see a lot of press on the outside here. They got J.C. Horn manned up in the slot against Elijah Moore there. Well, then you're going to end up with Enagbare on Yeboah or some sort of mismatch on the tight end. And that's what Ole Miss is looking for. That's why they look to the sideline, trying to figure out where their best matchup is. Looks like it would be Ernest Jones now. And Ole Miss trying to use a timeout before the play clock expired.
Prior to the timeout, false start, number 64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down. See what happens. Cole Kublik says something nice about you. Nick Broker since then, a couple of flags.
It doesn't change the fact that he's dumped multiple defenders on their backsides this game.
No, it doesn't.
I did talk to Javarius Robinson before the game, and he said when Ole Miss gives them some of those lookovers to change the plays, that he has a plan to actually change the defense and counter that as well.
Third and 13. A run on 3rd and 13 will give them 3 out of field goal range. Haven't used your punter all night. And keep the offense on the field.
Again, 3rd and long, a run. Why? Because you know you're going for it on 4th. Obviously, they like to pick up a little bit more than that, but this is the aggressive style of Lane Kiffin, the aggressive style of analytics. And it's what makes Ole Miss so dangerous. Watch Elijah Moore right here.
Crowd looking that way. Now goes the opposite way, and it's good for an Ole Miss first down. Braylon Sanders, 17-yard gain.
Watch the arm angle on this throw. Watch him step up in the pocket and a little sidearm flick right in between 2 defenders. That's you can't teach that type of talent.
Played middle infielder as a kid growing up in California. Flag on the play. He also played some safety. And within the last week, he brought film from his youth football playing days as a safety to show to DJ Durkin, the Ole Miss defensive
Holding,
coordinator.
number 11 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
And the coaches, when they saw that defensive tape from Matt Corral, were, wow, here's a guy who's coming in blowing everybody up.
It's going to be Drummond on the outside here. Boy, I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, he's got a little jersey there, but there was no, I don't know, no pull there. Anyways, flag either way.
Henry Parrish in the backfield now. Corral into the slot.
You mentioned Corral playing middle infielder, and this is really the new era, the new style of quarterback, right? 10, 15 years ago, everyone wanted the pitcher, the big, tall, strong-arm kid. Now they want the middle infielder. RPOs, the run-pass options, mobile quarterbacks that can throw 3-quarter, that can throw with twitch, that can throw off platform. That's where offense is going in college, and now you're seeing that's where it's going in the NFL, too.
3rd and 1. How does style of offense impact what they want out of a quarterback?
Well, you need the suddenness. You need to get rid of the ball quickly. You need to be able to flip your hips and throw kind of like a shortstop or a second baseman would do.
On 3rd and short, they run it straight ahead. This next play will be the 11th play of this drive. Opening drive, second half, Ole Miss.
I remember back in the day when I was coming up trying to learn about quarterback position as a young kid, throwing sidearm was like a bad thing.
Sure.
Like you didn't want to do that. That's it. Now they want guys that can excel at that.
Corral has it batted away at the line of scrimmage.
Did want to go ahead and just up to you guys quickly. South Carolina defensive back Israel McQuamu has been rolled out for the second half, so Gamecock's going to be working without him.
Jamie Robinson was previously injured, but he's been on the field for the Gamecocks.
And Robinson's going to be matched up with Elijah Moore here in the slot. That's the matchup they want. Right there.
That's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Corral in zone, incomplete. There's a flag. And this time they're going to get John Dixon, the sophomore from Tampa, for pass interference.
Pass interference on the defense, number 22. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
It just came over the top a little too soon, which is unfortunate because I'm not sure Drummond would have got to that ball anyway, but you see he's on the back hip and he's over the shoulder early. It's an easy call, but it's an unfortunate one because I don't think it was catchable anyway.
With Moore in motion, they go straight ahead, and a cutback inside for Snoop Connor. 2-yard touchdown run for the Hattiesburg native.
was just a great job by Connor here. I mean, look at that. That play should have been blown up, almost was blown up by Jordan Burch there for South Carolina, and he just does a little sidestep, get back upfield. A lot of talent on Ole Miss. Snoop Connor and Jaron Ely, both their running backs, are two of the best in the conference.
So far tonight, South Carolina's best defense has been their offense, because when Ole Miss has been on the field, they've been able to push through. That time a 12-play drive for a 10-point lead. Carolina quarterback Colin Hill cemented his place as the starting quarterback this week with open competition. He had a fantastic first half, 8 of 9 for 89 yards as Carolina leaned on the run game, and Kevin Harris, who went over 100 in the first quarter.
And to me, that competition was maybe a little bit more of lighting a fire under Colin Hill, right? I mean, sometimes you need to do that to a quarterback, but again, it's going to be tempting for South Carolina right now to look at the scoreboard.
DeCarrion Joyner.
It's very tempting to look at the scoreboard and go, we're down 10. Let's start throwing the football. No. You can't do that. Your game plan coming in was to run the football. You did that effectively the first drive and at times in the first half. You got to go right back to it.
Offense was impotent last week, just 3 points on a meaningless field goal in the fourth quarter with 150 yards. Talking with Will Muschamp this week, he said, listen, we got to be better around the quarterback. We had drops all over the place. 5 drops among the wide receivers, and so the quarterbacks got equal reps throughout the week of practice, and a decision made on Friday to stick with Hill, the Colorado State transfer. And they will stick with Harris in the run game, and Harris is able to get to the edge and down the sideline.
Watch the left side of the offensive line here. Look at this wash down. Come out with a tight end and a fullback, and look at the movement. I mean, there's nobody there. That's why they got to keep coming out in these heavy sets. Ole Miss doesn't have an answer for it right now. They're not physical enough. South Carolina's got to live in this personnel set with a fullback and a tight end.
Can up that number to 114 yards now for Harris. They'll keep it on the ground here. Ole Miss says they took the football away. And we've got a stoppage, and they say he was down. By the way, just throw this number out there. South Carolina's averaging 7.7 yards a carry.
That's pretty good. Let's look here. Not great push that time. You see the knee down, so no question. Now here in 2nd and 10, it's an area where maybe you look to flip the ball to the perimeter, get Shi Smith a quick throw, an extension of the run game. It's going to be lining up at the top of your screen on the outside. He's got some green grass. There's cushion out there.
Smith has 7 of Carolina's 8 catches in this game. Look in that direction. Deep out. Shi Smith the grab. Can't find more yardage, and he takes it to the 50. Ball got ripped out after his forward progress was stopped. It's a gain of 12 and a fresh set of downs.
And you see the cushion out there, right? I mean, this is what a fullback and a tight end personnel group does to a defense. You got to stack the box, and you got to play man coverage on the outside, and you're not going to man press Shi Smith, so you're just building in cushion and space for Shi Smith to work.
You said it so confidently. Why wouldn't you man press Shi Smith?
He's too talented. He's too good of a route runner. He's too athletic. He's going to beat you at some point, so you need to keep him in front of you as much as possible.
5'10" senior from Union, South Carolina, at Union County High School. Hill goes over the middle. Caught. First down, South Carolina, down to the 20-yard line. And now they're mixing it up. That's a 30-yard gain.
Oh, and a great job by Colin Hill. Watch him work left. Look left. That moves a linebacker. That holds a safety. He knew where he was going with the ball the whole time, but good experience choice there to look off, be patient. And that opened up that middle route even more.
First time Jaheim Bell has been targeted tonight. Harris trying to find the edge. Smith couldn't get in front of his man, and Harris able to find maybe 5. Second down 5.
You're talking about mixing up the run game on this drive. You've seen zone plays inside, outside. You've seen duo, and now you've seen ISO in the run game on this drive for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Paul, explain duo.
Duo, basically you're running out. So let's say you run outside zone to the right. Quarterback's going to turn and hand the ball off to the left. It's a way to counter heavy flow from the defense. So if they see zone early and go with it, you hand it off the opposite direction.
Pressure coming. They swing it out to Smith. He wants to throw, and a fastball incomplete just behind the tight end, Nick Muse.
Boy, that was a great job by John Haynes, to stay fundamentally sound on the back end, right? I mean, everything's been in front of you. The short throws to Shi Smith, the run between the tackles, but great job of not letting your eyes get caught in the backfield. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown.
Carolina's converted to a 4th third downs tonight.
Got to find Shi Smith here at the bottom of your screen in man coverage.
Harris, sprint to the outside, aiming for the pylon, and he tiptoes his way down the line, but stepped out at the 1. 15-yard run to set up 1st and goal for Kevin Harris.
And a really good job, because that's the exact same look that they've thrown. The quick throw to Shi Smith, right? Motion the fullback, get an extra blocker, throw it. Defense adjusts and leaves it light on the backside with no linebacker. Really good play call.
Watch QB sneak, and he'll do it with Hill. He converted a 4th down.
I see you, Romo.
By the way, that fullback block on the previous play didn't really count for much because it was on the opposite side, but it was an absolute decleater.
Hey, the guard, Gwynn, also blew up a defensive lineman for Ole Miss. They're being physical up front. I mean, that's one of the reasons South Carolina is having success on the ground. It's a mentality as it is anything. They got their butts kicked by Texas A&M up front. They're not letting that happen tonight. Here's where you got to punch it in. These linemen got to keep a low hat level and drive out.
Prentice in front of Harris. Harris bottled up, stop shy of the goal line, and then leave 3rd and goal from the 1.
This is 2-down territory. Right, I mentioned, don't look up at the scoreboard, see 10 points, think you got to throw it all over the place, but you're sniffing the goal line down here. You know it's going to be tough to continue to get stops against Ole Miss. You need 7 here. 3 doesn't do anything for you.
Ja'Kai Moore is the starting left tackle. Carolina's banged up on the offensive line. On 3rd and goal, toss Harris. And Harris finishes what he started as he takes it in for the South Carolina touchdown.
A couple really good play calls here by Mike Bobo. It started with the run that got him down to the goal line. A great formation and look. And right here, that formation gets everybody in tight. Get everybody in tight, pitch it to the outside. Let your fullback and let Harris play on the outside, and a great block up front. Even better play call by Mike Bobo.
Bobo on the right. College teammate of Will Muschamp at Georgia. Coaching up Colin Hill. Parker White for the point after. Kevin Harris, nicknamed the Bus, and he's carrying folks to school in this one. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. 46 yards and 2 from 1 yard out. 3-point lead, Ole Miss. Talked a lot about the talent on this Ole Miss team. It includes long snapper Jack Probst, not just a talented football player.
Fun fact, Jack Probst is the best musician on this football team.
Jack Probst has suited up for the Rebels for the past 4 years. But he hasn't snapped out of his Music City roots.
Woke up in the morning, I remember what I dreamed.
It's going to be fun to see where he goes from here, but he's going to make it big time. You can mark my words. It's going to be Jack Probst, and everyone's going to hear about him.
He's already growing out the mustache like a country music star. You know, Ole Miss Athletics has a history with athletes having success in the music industry. Country music star Brett Young came to Ole Miss to play college baseball here. had an arm injury, said, you know what, I'm going to dedicate more and more of my life to country music. We reached out to Brett this week. We said, how would you talk to Jack Probst about his music career and his life and give him some advice?
I got turned on to Mr. Jack Probst's music this week, and I wanted to say I'm a big fan, and I was going to come on and say I got some tips and some pointers, and then I realized you play D1 football, you make the ladies swim with your music, and you definitely got it figured out and don't need my help at all. So let's get back to football. Let's say go Ole Miss. Let's say hell yeah, damn right. And let's have a good week. Let's go get a win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Brett Young, who's wildly talented as a singer-songwriter, is like, I don't have to tell this guy anything. Yeah. He's got it figured out. Thanks, Brett, and his people for getting with us and sending us that video this week. Brett's latest is Lady, about his beautiful young daughter. He proposed to his wife, by the way, at the Graduate, right off the square.
Solid.
Knows his way around Oxford. Here's Snoop Conner. And he's able to pick up a couple. That'll leave 3rd and 10. What do you expect play call here, 3rd and 10?
Well, this is not an area where they would go for it on 4th. You got to get to at least the 40-yard line there. So this will be a passing situation. Well, it'd be easy to say Elijah Moore, but Braylon Sanders, playing in place of Jonathan Mingo's, made some plays on the outside as well.
Corral 21-25 through the air tonight. Four-man rush. They got to him, and he's able to sling it out to Snoop Conner, but he stopped short of the 1st down. That'll leave 4th and a couple. 4th and 3 now, and the offense will come off the field.
They had to give you a punt so you could talk about your boy again.
Yeah, Jack Probst gets a chance to come back on the field.
Oh, Sam Hunt, Chase Rice, both guys have played football as well. Sam Hunt played at UAB. Chase Rice played at North Carolina. Football and country music, something about it.
Speaking of North Carolina, the Ole Miss punter is Mac Brown, not that Mac Brown. Only one punt against Vandy. That's his first here tonight. Fair catch taken. 31-28. Jack Probst hustled his way down the field. He's got it all figured out.
Dory Noka in studio. Time for our comeback moment, supplemented by Aflac. Oregon, 11th ranked team in all the land, was trailing at Washington State 19-7. Yes, we're way out of the footprint here. And then Tyler Shuck finds Travis Dye, and the Ducks, fittingly enough, in our Aflac comeback moment, have the lead.
All right, Dye, thanks. Did Michigan come back?
Did they?
No. Handoff Harris. Boy, he opens his own holes, and Harris lost the shoe at the 45-yard line. That's when you know you're moving. 31 yards the last 4 without the click-clack.
This South Carolina offensive line, specifically 54, as you see him climb to the 2nd level here and block Lakia Henry. That's Javon Gwynn, has been blowing some holes for Kevin Harris. I mean, this is impressive. They had 50 rushing yards last week, and I know Texas A&M is better up front than Ole Miss, but they flipped the switch. 167 tonight for Harris alone.
Your Michigan answer, it's 28-3 Wisconsin, midway through the 3rd. Harris, right side this time, another big hole. He's off to the races again, and he bends it back to the outside. Kevin Harris with his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. That one goes for 44.
And I don't have the jinx when I start talking about an offensive lineman, because Javon Gwynn just blew. Watch him on the right center screen. He's going to come in at the end. Watch him finish this Ole Miss defender to the ground right as Kevin Harris burst through.
Is there anything more beautiful in football than a toss sweep with a guard and fullback out in front of you?
Yeah, Cole, it's called an 80-yard bomb or a Hail Mary.
I don't know what that is.
But nice try. I mean, it is pretty sexy when an offensive lineman pancakes somebody.
Snap was high, handled well, And Parker White pushes through the point after South Carolina back in front. 66 combined points in this game, ahead of pace. Still 3 minutes to go in the third. Kevin Harris is just a sophomore.
Questions about his speed. Are you kidding me? What else could you want from that right there? Look at the burst. I mean, he is 225 pounds. He's physical enough to beat you between the tackles, but he's been out on the edge plenty, and this offensive line for South Carolina has done a tremendous job being physical at the point of attack, blowing holes, and then Kevin Harris has finished with great vision. This is the game plan South Carolina had. This is exactly what they wanted to do. Credit Mike Bobo for not coming off his plan, even down 10 just a short time ago. Didn't start throwing the ball. He leaned into the running game, and that's why now they take the lead.
Think about all the great running backs South Carolina's had through their history. George Rogers, Marcus Lattimore, plenty in between. And none of them had a 4-touchdown game as Kevin Harris has tonight. A sidewinder into the end zone. And Ole Miss with an opportunity to answer.
For South Carolina, don't get too comfortable, because, man, Ole Miss can score in a blink.
Carolina leading by 4. They show pressure. Jordan Burks, a talented freshman in a 2-point stance. Corral has all day to the slant, and that's going to be a first down to Dontario Drummond.
Just an RPO there, run pass option. The run play was on. Corral decided to pull it, hit the slant on the outside, and already back on the ball, ready to snap it.
Corral surveys, sidearms one behind his body, and that's good for a 9-yard gain to Sanders. They work, a flag on the play, they work on some of these off-balance throws pregame.
Illegal shift on the offense, number 13, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
The second time they've had an illegal shift. That happens when you go so fast. Look at the outside. Braylon Sanders trying to get a signal. Realizes they're about to snap it. Never gave the outside receivers the signal.
Yeboah and Sanders on the short side now, 1st and 15. Toss to Jerrion Ealy, and he gets taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Well, that last play right there, they doubled Elijah Moore. Had J.C. Horn on the outside of him, Jamie Robinson on the inside of him. I think right now they're saying, you can beat us with anybody but number 8.
You didn't want to go with 64, took his man out of bounds on the play?
No, you
Look what you did, Cole. Uh-oh, hold your breath. Holding call, left tackle.
Corral, straight drop. Gonna dial deep. Sanders. Caught, first down. A home run ball from Matt Corral, and Ole Miss has it inside the 10.
I talked about the arm talent. He lets this ball go from the 25-yard line. And that ball is caught right about the 10-yard line. That's a 60-plus yard bomb right on the money.
Straight ahead run. Ealy stays on his feet into the end zone. Ole Miss touchdown, Jerrion Ealy. 12-yard plunge.
And that's why they're so dangerous. They hit you on a huge pass play, and they don't even let you get lined up for the next play before they're snapping it, catching you off guard, and capitalizing on a huge play. That's what tempo does to you. All those defenders, the D linemen just ran 60 yards. They're huffing and puffing. They get lined up or trying to get lined up, and that ball is snapped.
Logan's point after is good. Ole Miss with a 3-point lead with 1:11 to go in the third quarter. You know, since today, COVID and scheduling robbed us of a few SEC games, right? I mean, we're down to just 3 games today. What are the odds that the last one to kick off would be the most entertaining with these two offenses? We got it.
I mean, especially you didn't know what offense was going to show up for South Carolina. I'm not sure anybody expected this. I mean, this is going to come down to the wire. Both these offenses clicking on all cylinders.
It seems like whoever has the ball last is going to end up winning this game. Now, mistakes in the first half, an interception from South Carolina, a corral fumble were the only things that really slowed the offenses down.
Yeah, now Ole Miss has got to find a way to stop the runs, right? I mean, do anything to make South Carolina throw the football and beat you with Colin Hill, a guy that hasn't performed well the last couple of weeks. It's why they opened back up the quarterback competition. If you're Ole Miss, you got to sell out to stop the run on this drive.
Shi Smith now in as the return man, and he'll take a fair catch. Talk to me about Colin Hill's play in this game versus what you've seen from his entire package of work coming into this game.
Well, look, when he doesn't have to push and he doesn't have to press, right? They get down early against Texas A&M. They had some drops. You start to press. You start to make decisions that are outside of what you're coached to do. You start to force the football. That's when any quarterback would start to play bad. So Colin Hill's extremely talented. And Mike Bobo's done a good job of controlling what he wants him to do, directing his eyes, like I like to call it. Play calls that Colin knows where he's going with the football. Just like this.
Off the play action, fires complete to Shi Smith.
Directing the quarterback's eyes. What does that mean? Calling a play where there's really 1 or 2 options, right? So you don't sit back there and feel like you're scanning the whole field, and that's when indecision creeps in. Get him on the run. He's throwing the flat or the out route. Quick, decisive decision in a big game.
Shi Smith over 100 yards. Tailback Kevin Harris has the most productive day for any SEC tailback this season with 211, but he's out of the game right now. They've got Smith lined up in the backfield next to Hill. And that one's batted away. Fantastic play, great hands by Hal Northern, senior from Tunica. South Carolina taking a page from Ole Miss's playbook, the way they're using Smith in the backfield and putting running backs out at wide receivers. This is the guy who's carried the load tonight. A Carolina record 4 rushing touchdowns, 21 carries for 211 yards, and he's getting a breather on this drive. Fenwick is the lone back now. Fenwick to the outside. Gain of 6.
I think South Carolina's going to let the clock tick into the 4th quarter here.
And with the between quarter break, that might be enough time to get Kevin Harris back in this game. And he has been a difference maker. Ole Miss 38, South Carolina 35. We head to the 4th quarter in Oxford. Let's take a look at our 15 minutes or less, brought to you by Geico. Scoring started on that note for South Carolina. Sensational first drive. Since then, they've leaned on Kevin Harris, who has a South Carolina record 4 rushing touchdowns in this one. If you like defense, avert your eyes. This has been an offensive night for both sides. 900 total yards of offense between the two. 3rd and 3, Carolina. Third and 3 no longer. Deshaun Fenwick has a huge gain for the Gamecocks, and Ole Miss cannot stop the run. They can't even slow it down. 23 yards.
Well, it just starts with the D-line. I mean, talking to DJ Durkin, he said our defensive line needs to play so well. I mean, that's the most important thing he was telling us, and they're just not. South Carolina's getting movement up front. They're opening up holes. And shoot, Tom, you could run through that hole. That's saying a lot.
Depends. I mean, if I was running to Funkies, yeah, meet me at the corner. 290 yards on the ground tonight for South Carolina. On the ground again, and another rip for Fenwick. That's good for a first down.
The yards before first contact for South Carolina in this game are going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, here the best thing, a little arm stuck out there, but that's not going to stop Fenwick. It's definitely not going to stop Harris.
Harris is back in the game now. Fenwick got a face full of sod along with a first down.
Let's see the discipline here. Does Mike Bobo just keep doing this all the way into the red zone?
He wants to throw, and he throws for a first down.
Just think about, this is what I love about South Carolina's plan right now, and that's why I said, does he stick to it, is when they have chosen to throw the football, it's been what we call day one install stuff, right? I mean, a three-step drop, a hitch on the outside. Easy throws to get completions, not asking Colin Hill to do too much.
I'll tell you an area that I've seen very different for South Carolina tonight, Jordan, has been protection off play action. Mike Bobo actually agreed with me before the game that he had no idea why they had been struggling with that the last few games. It's really been on point for the Gamecocks tonight.
Certainly helps when you got a guy like Harris having a career day at the tailback position. Here he is again. Does he have 5? He's got the edge, and he's in. 5th touchdown of the night for Kevin Harris.
Just no contain. No contain on the outside for Ole Miss. And you're not going to stop Kevin Harris when he's got a full head of steam. Watch John Hayes, number 5 on the outside there. Just gets washed down. He's the contain guy. And then you got a corner on Harris. It's not the matchup you want if you're Ole Miss on the outside.
Incredible stop and go and hesitation for Kevin Harris.
They didn't offer him a scholarship because they didn't think he was fast enough.
Put that to bed. South Carolina adds the extra point. 12:50 to go and plenty of scoring still to come. Muschamps Gamecocks by 4. Kevin Harris, do it. 223 yards, most by a SEC running back in a game this season. He set a new South Carolina record for rushing touchdowns with 5 of them.
It's a good day at the office.
These teams have a history of high-scoring games. Fumble on the kickoff return, and Ole Miss is going to have terrible field position back at the 6. Let's take you back to the last time these two teams met, 2018. Here in Oxford, a huge kick return. South Carolina able to put some points on the board. Former St. Louis Battlehawk Jordan Ta'amu with a touchdown scramble for Ole Miss. Now with the Chiefs, by the way. Jake Bentley able to scramble one in. Ta'amu threw for 379. Bentley threw for 363, over 1,100 yards of offense in that one.
And we ain't done here.
No, they're saying hold my solo cup. Corral hands it off. Ely picks up just a few. How big, and time will tell, but in your mind, how big is the field position in this scenario by muffing the kick?
Oh, it's huge. There's a South Carolina player down. Boy, that's become...
Yeah, that's R.J. Roderick down for South Carolina, which is big. You know, he played that dime linebacker tonight, so he got the start actually in nickel at a linebacker position, and just somebody on the back end of this defense for Travaris Robinson and Will Muschamp that's moved around, played a lot of different positions tonight. Obviously, without Israel Mukuamu, the other linebackers and defensive linemen that we mentioned today, just a rough night for this Carolina defense injury-wise.
And Ole Miss is taking advantage of that. We've seen that in the shot plays, right? Hit a couple big plays downfield. Why? Because those safeties, like Roderick, when he's not in the dime linebacker position, he's back on the back end. It looks like he's just shaken up a little bit. So it's a good sign for South Carolina.
Ole Miss taking its time. 2nd down 7. Play action. Corral. Oh my goodness, Elijah Moore wide open. Lane Kiffin just threw his clipboard 30 yards in the air. Touchdown Ole Miss, what a play. 91-yard play for Moore. Lane Kiffin celebrated this like it was New Year's Eve. You might see the clipboard fly up.
And who is not in the picture right there? The safety. What did I just mention? Roderick went to the sideline. He's usually playing on the back end in some capacity. And Matt Corral looked off and pumped the safety to one direction, and that is why Elijah Moore was so wide open.
Luke Logan sneaks it in the left upright. You mentioned earlier Lane Kiffin celebrating on the sideline before plays were completed when he was on Nick Saban's staff. This was an incredible celebration by the visored play caller. Watch the bottom of your screen. Off the play action, Moore wide open, and Lane Kiffin says, "Whee!" Clipboard in the air.
Damage already done.
Ain't no party like a Lane Kiffin party, because a Lane Kiffin party can cover 60 yards. Folks, this replay's insane.
Watch the celebration by Lane Kiffin. Hands are already up. Ball is not even out of his quarterback's hands.
He starts at the 38. He loses the clipboard at the 47, and he sprints all the way down out of the headset to the 26 in a fist pump.
That's like when a baseball player is rounding third and they hit the helmet off.
Yes.
I mean, he threw the headset off. That was unbelievable.
He should join the Padres coaching staff. That's a bat flip from a play caller. 3-point Ole Miss lead, 12:02 to go. Now, we haven't seen either defensive coordinator celebrate like that tonight for good reason. We're over 1,000 yards of offense.
That's my kind of game, though. I'm not mad at it. Whoever's sitting on the couch isn't either. At least not yet.
I mean, I thought UNC Wake was bonkers this morning. This one might go past that.
Who's on clipboard retrieval duty for Ole Miss? Hill throws on 1st down. Too much. Incomplete. That leaves 2nd and 10.
He got 42 points on the board. How'd you get there?
Well, here's the thing. I know that people might say, well, you can't throw it on 1st down. If you're averaging 9.5 yards per carry, it's okay.
Yeah.
I understand it's not ideal.
I don't mind it, trying to break tendency a little bit, but now they're back into that ground and pound personnel with a tight end and a fullback. Top of the line there.
Can Ole Miss make a tackle? Here's Harris.
Jeez.
Here's the edge. There's the 1st down. And that's what allows you to take a shot on 1st.
The push on the left side of the offensive line. Watch this. Look at the push. I mean, there's nobody there. Look at that. That's a big circle because there's nobody inside of it.
Honestly, did you mean to draw a circle
No.
outside?
Just duo again, and you have options with the tight end over on that weak side. You can lock it, stay home. He can come down and show zone, and that's what's getting all that defensive flow going away from the football.
242 rushing yards for Kevin Harris tonight. They've made the I formation 6. Here's Harris. Tripped up. And he still picks up 5.
I mean, Tom, give me credit where credit is due. I'm a second-half player. The tally's been better in the second half. Okay, we
Full disclosure, though, in the craziness of this game, Jordan Rogers accepted a hot dog from a stranger, the guy in the suite next to us. reached his arm around and passed it
They
into
were
the
passing it
broadcast
around
booth.
in the suite next to us, and I like put up my hands. Hey, toss it to me, and he did, and I ate it, and I'm not mad.
Oxford gets weird at night, man.
Hey, I'm not hungry. Are you?
Nope. Kevin Harris isn't hungry. He's been fed all night. Pressure up. Here's Harris. And he lost the football. It'll be a losing yardage play as the ball trickled backwards for about 4 yards.
This is where you want to be if you're the Ole Miss defense. Force South Carolina into a passing situation, a 3rd and long. See what they do with Shi Smith. I mean, that's really been the only place Colin Hill has gone with the football. You can see Shi Smith down here at the bottom of your screen. Dean Leonard will be matched up on him.
Hill pressured, stays on his feet before he's surrounded, and the Land Sharks get it. Ryder Anderson will get credit for it, the senior from Katy, Texas.
So this is an RPO. This is a pull by Colin Hill. You're going to see they're running a run play to the left. Hill decides to pull this and try to throw the quick screen, and that's why those guys are unblocked. That ball has to come out, but Dean Leonard on the other side blew up the play. He knew they were going to Shi Smith. So it was a great job by Ole Miss all around.
Bobo asking Shi Smith, what did he see? Carolina to punt it away. Fair catch asked for. Jerrion Ealy at the 20. 9:17 remaining. If South Carolina can stop Ole Miss, they need to get it now. They may not get the ball back.
So here's that 3rd down play. It was an RPO. So they're actually running the football right here. Look at it's blocked up. If you hand the ball off, that's a good play. Instead, Colin Hill wants to throw down there, and that's the RPO. He's got the choice. But that time the run looked good. Just hand it off. And I think if they hand it off, even if they don't pick up the 1st down, you go for it on 4th. And that's what Mike Bobo's mad about. He's saying, hand the ball off. We had the look. Don't get greedy. The look wasn't there on the outside to throw the football.
Matt Corral and the Ole Miss offense, 590 yards of production tonight. They'll hand it off. And a 5-yard gain on 1st down.
Well, look, with 9 minutes left, there's still, at least 4 touchdowns on the board. So buckle up.
Right? Corral to the slant. Caught Elijah Moore. And Moore takes it up to the 38-yard line. It's a 15-yard gain.
And this is where it gets hard as a defensive coordinator, because you're trying to get pressure on Corral. You're trying to stack the box to stop the run, which means you have to press on the outside and play man coverage. And, it's a double-edged sword.
Moore had 238 yards receiving last week. He's got 200 tonight. Jerrion Ealy straight ahead. That's 438 yards receiving over 2 games for Elijah Moore.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, he was already the leader in the SEC in yards and receptions. He's building upon that lead big time.
That'll get you a table at City Grocery.
Uncovered receiver at the top there. I might just flip it out.
Corral looking that way. It's Yeboah for an Ole Miss 1st down. What happened to Carolina's coverage?
Well, again, it's the attention that Elijah Moore demands. I mean, 2 sets of eyes, 2 defenders have their eyes on Elijah Moore, and you don't see Kenny Yeboah going right up the seam.
Flag on the play. Corral will spike it behind his offensive line with pressure in his face. David Smith, the referee. Lane Kiffin's going to call his quarterback over to have a word at the numbers. Did we have intentional grounding on top of whatever the first flag was? Here's David Smith.
There are fouls on each team. Offside on the defense, number 22. Intentional grounding, number 2 on the offense. Those penalties offset. Replay, first down.
And watch the big play right here. Watch when this ball, look at this. Eyes right there and eyes right there. Those two defenders both are looking at Elijah Moore, and that leaves Kenny Yeboah wide open down the seam.
Third catch of the night for Yeboah.
Even when he's not beating you, he's beating you.
Corral keeps it, cuts back upfield, and perhaps gets a yard. I have a feeling Lane Kiffin put that play in his head before that snap, told him it would be there. 2nd and 9 now. Corral looks right, comes back left, man coverage, Moore, flag on the play on J.C. Horn.
Whoa. No, that is, they're going to call this on J.C. Horn, but that is not pass interference.
Pass interference on the defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Watch this. Unless it happens really early here, watch him turn. Look at him turn. I mean, are they saying his left hand is? Boy, I don't know. Their feet get tangled a little bit there. That's why they stumble. And I feel like he was in really good position. His eyes were back towards the quarterback. Like he did everything he could there.
Horn is an elite defender. Had 2 picks against Auburn. Here's Corral on an RPO, keeps it and takes it inside the 10. Because of the off-platform ability of Matt Corral on RPOs, he's always a threat to put it in the air.
Yeah. I mean, he can get rid of the ball so quickly, you never know. And he can also run the football, as we've seen. So he's a triple threat in the purest sense of the form for a quarterback.
Pretty good history of scrambling quarterbacks in Ole Miss's history. Here's Corral again. Lowers his shoulder, takes it to the 5. Just short of the 5. That'll leave 3rd and a couple. Zach Pickens with a big stop. Breakneck pace on both sides. 3rd down. Ely in. Touchdown Ole Miss. And the Rebels add to their lead. Second touchdown of the night.
Watch R.J. Roderick right here. Terrible circle again, but watch him backside. He's getting too far inside again. He's a safety. He's playing dime linebacker. You can't expect a guy like that to be down in the red zone, low red zone, being physical at the line of scrimmage. That's injuries right there. They didn't have, what, 3 or 4 of their linebackers? I know you're waiting to make fun of me. They didn't have their linebackers, so now they got safeties playing linebacker. It's tough for South Carolina.
I bet you were terrible at shapes and blocks as a kid. Jerry Neely's good at a lot of stuff, including running the football. Here's a game summary. It summarizes the game. I don't know if raw numbers can do it, but a 52-42 lead for Ole Miss. The offensive numbers are insane. Kevin Harris, 243 yards alone. Matt Corral is chasing down one of the all-time great records in Ole Miss history. That would be Archie Manning's 540 yards of total offense in a primetime game against Alabama at Legion Field in 1969, one of the greatest games in conference history. And Corral is knocking on that door here tonight.
Tom, Corral has 7 incompletions in his last 65 throws. He was 31 of 34 against Vandy. He's 27 of 31. Don't double check my math, but that's off the top of my head. 7 incompletions in 65 attempts, over 800 yards. Going to be over 900.
Carolina down 10, 6:09 remaining. Hill on play action. Shi Smith, right off of his pads as he came back for that one. It was open for a first down. By the way, speaking of Mannings, the next great one, Arch, had a pretty good game against Cohen last night in New Orleans. He went 9 of 11 for 169 and 5 touchdowns all in the first quarter. He didn't play anymore.
5 touchdowns on 9 completions?
Yeah, that's Cooper's son.
Jeez.
Everybody wants him at quarterback. Ole Miss defense stepping up again as they surround Deshaun Fenwick.
This is a huge down right here. Huge. You're down 2 scores. Time is running out. 5.5 minutes left. You need 2 scores. So this is as much of a must get first down as you're going to see. They're going to get man coverage. Ole Miss is going to bring some pressure.
Hill to the outside. Smith incomplete. No flag on the play. The coverage from Keidron Smith.
Well, that's twice on the same exact route. Then Colin Hill threw the ball just a little too far upfield. This ball needs to be thrown more on the back shoulder. See how Shi Smith is trying to fight through defender? That's got to be thrown towards his back shoulder. You want to stop his momentum almost completely to pull him out of that. Now you got 4th down. And again, find Shi Smith. He's going to be in the slot right here. He's going to be bracketed. Got a man inside, a man outside.
Hill looking left. Hit as he throws. Wide open, but incomplete. He threw it over the top of Nick Muse. And certainly the pressure impacted that play.
And Ole Miss brought pressure. Hit home off the edge. And otherwise, this is a huge play because Nick Muse is wide open on a switch release. You're going to see Hill knows he's under pressure. He's trying to hold on to that ball as long as possible. They ran a switch release. Muse started on the inside, ended up on the outside wide open. If he has a tick longer, that's a big play, but great job by DJ Durkin, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, of dialing up pressure, not allowing Colin Hill time to complete that ball.
It was really nice pressure. Overloaded the left side. He knows this offense is going to slide the protection. You occupy the back with a linebacker. And then obviously the DB coming off the edge. There's just nobody home to pick it up.
It was A.J. Finley who brought the pressure. He already has a pick in this game. Jarian Ely taken down in the backfield. Great pressure by Zach Pickens in the South Carolina defensive line, making some plays. Keir Thomas there as well.
Don't have to use your timeouts yet. But you have to come up with a stop here.
Yeah. 10-point deficit. And remember the field goal that Ole Miss added at the end of the half?
Huge.
That probably should not have occurred due to Corral's knee being down and the play being missed by both the stripes on the field and the replay booth. Play clock at 1, 2nd and 14. Ely again. And Ole Miss looking at a 3rd and 10. We've talked about the analytics and Lane Kiffin choosing to go for it on 4th down and most times ignores field goal kicker. Does that change here with a 10-point lead? Given time and score?
No, I mean, you want to go up 2 touchdowns, right? You're only up a touchdown and a field goal right now. So you want that field goal. If you're comfortable on the 25-yard line here.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you want at least the field goal if you're Ole Miss.
Oh,
that's what I mean, yeah. You want to go up 2 touchdowns. Lane Kiffin didn't like what he saw.
Ole Miss, they're first. This will be a 30-second timeout.
I don't know how we picked this, but I got a feeling. As we take a look at a 5-star play of the game, brought to you by Yellowwood, and Lane Kiffin's clipboard might need to be made of Yellowwood going forward. We start with South Carolina's first drive and a one-handed catch by Shi Smith. And then this 91 yards, longest play in Ole Miss history. Matt Corral to Elijah Moore.
I feel like we could have been Oprah for this segment. Just you get a top play, you get a top play, you get a top play. I mean, how many do we have today?
We're handing out top plays. Kipman's throwing clipboards into the stands.
That Shi Smith catch felt like it happened on Wednesday.
It really does.
Weren't you doing a MAC game on Wednesday?
That was Tuesday.
I feel like the first quarter we thought, hey, this might be a quick game. And, yeah, that didn't happen.
They're going to shut down the square before this game ends. 3rd and 9. Corral chasing the backfield. Bunch of white shirts there, and they take him down. All right, so 4th and 10.
Timeout. South Carolina.
South Carolina uses a timeout.
This will be a 30-second
the offense
timeout.
will stay on the field, or will they? You're up 2 scores. A field goal keeps it at 2 scores, even though it would be 2 touchdowns. And if you're Kiffin, you pick up the first down here, you could salt this thing away.
Yeah, I mean, the analytics tell you to kick the field goal here. If it was 4th and 4 or less, it would say go. It says go up 2 touchdowns. But again, analytics is data. It gives you information. That doesn't tell you how your field goal kicker is feeling, what you saw from him in warm-ups, how your offense is rolling tonight. You might just say, we're going so good, let's roll the dice.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to see right here.
So many data points go into this, including how you feel about your kicking game.
There's not a data point that says my quarterback has 488 yards.
No data point would expect Matt Corral
That's a green
to
light.
chase Archie. Corral steps up in the pocket, over the middle, caught, touchdown, Ole Miss. There's a data point.
This is so good by Matt Corral. Look, you've seen a couple plays tonight where you think, man, that guy's just wide open. Watch Matt Corral's eyes. You want to know why he's wide open? Because where is he looking? He knows where he wants to go with the football, but he's looking left, steps up left, and look at the safety. Jamie Robinson was playing over the top there, and he moved to the left because Matt Corral looked to the left. And that's why it was wide open. Dude's in the zone right now.
Ole Miss has 59 points. A quarterback that has thrown for over 500 and the best jerseys in the game.
Watch Jamie Robinson playing center field here, right? He's going to get a route right here, and then Corral's eyes are also going to take him in that direction. He's playing over the top. He's reading eyes right there. He just got fooled. He's sitting back playing center field, watching Corral's eyes, and man, you're Lane Kiffin. You are feeling really good.
And Lane,
number 2.
Lane actually threw his clipboard into the stands. They got a GA coming down with it right now. Just went up and got it. Play sheet went into the stands for Lane Kiffin. About 30 rows up. A couple students had it. Graduate assistant had to go snag it. Brought it back down to the field.
So you'd like to be a GA for Lane Kiffin. What would that job entail? Well, other duties as assigned would include going into the stands for the play sheet.
My question is, how do you give that back if you're the kid that caught it?
You got to
get out of here, right? Get out of here.
Lane Kiffin was a quarterback at Fresno State back in the mid-90s. He's thrown more passes with the clipboard here tonight than he did for Pat Hill in all 3 years he played for him. Yep. Coach, I got it.
Look at him.
Bottom right. There it is.
Wow. I mean,
if Lane Kiffin was Australian, he'd be the best boomerang thrower in the continent.
How about the guy's face? He goes, oh, I wish I could say it's the first time. And it's definitely not going to be the last.
So, what's it like working for Lane Kiffin? How much time you got?
Yeah.
27-yard gain. South Carolina's got 3.5 minutes to make more noise, down 17.
Honey, how was the game? Well, I had to climb over a few drunk guys to get a clipboard again.
Hill finds his tight end, Nick Hughes, who took a shot 19-yard gain. Couple of big plays here for Colin Hill.
If there's anything we learned in the first 3 quarters and 3 quarters, it's that this thing's not over. Any other night, you'd say it is.
Diving catch made, another one for Jalen Brooks. He had limited time tonight after the drops against A&M, and that goes for 13 yards. 3 minutes to play. South Carolina going all gas, no brakes.
Got to go to the end zone.
Fade route, and he quit on his route. Brooks didn't finish it. Coverage on the back end by Ja'Cory Hawkins.
I mean, the future is bright for Ole Miss.
You know what I want to do? I want to sell season tickets for Ole Miss next year.
Are you kidding me? Just throw the clipboard throw on a loop. Just send that out. There's your marketing.
There it is. And sure, you could get the cheap seats, but then you might not catch the clipboard. How about you invest in something closer to the field, sir? Over 1,200 yards of offense for the second straight meeting between these two. Hill connects again, this time with Deshaun Fenwick.
I'm just hoping next time we come to a game here, they have cardboard play sheet cut out in one of the seats.
Yeah. And they're going to have a big target behind the bench. Like, throw your clipboard here.
South Carolina had open competition all week at the quarterback position among Colin Hill, Ryan Hilinski, last year's starter, and Luke Doty, the talented freshman. Hill, pressure, drop. He got absolutely popped and he went straight down.
It was Robinson on the outside. Coming off the left. I mean, you can't block a defensive end with the running back. That's a recipe for disaster right there.
Tavius Robinson, this time last year, was playing football in Canada. And now he comes up with a big sack for Ole Miss. COVID shut down football in Canada. And so he came down here, and he has watched Matt Corral on the offensive side set a new Ole Miss single-game passing record of 513 yards. Corral will likely come up short in his chance to take over Archie's legendary 540-yard night against Alabama from '69. Fourth and 13. Carolina's hopes hinge on this. Hill over the middle. Fantastic catch down at the 5-yard line. And Carolina's dreams still alive on the completion. Josh Van's first of the night.
Yeah, you got to throw this into the end zone.
Down 17. Hill looks in zone. Fires. Incomplete. Bounce off of Casey Kelly's hands. Under 2 minutes now.
I mean, it's improbable, right? I mean, you'd have to score here. You'd have to get an onside kick. Then you need another touchdown and another field goal.
Have you seen Ole Miss play defense tonight?
I mean, so you're telling me there's a chance? It's been fun to watch, I'll tell you what.
Carolina's averaging 8.5 yards a play. Yeah, there's a chance.
They had 3 points last week.
End zone, slant incomplete. And that'll leave 3rd and goal. Only 4 tickets off the clock. They're going to have to tie Lane's clipboard to his belt. On 3rd and goal. Slant again. Knocked away. No flag on the play. Ooh. Finley was close. He's got a pick. He had a huge knock of Hill on the previous drive. And that time he jumped the route.
I feel like he got there a hair early. Well, this is it. lot of plays that could have been ball game. This is definitely ball game right here.
Do they go to Shi Smith or do they use him as a decoy? 4th and goal.
Who do you trust to catch the ball right now? I'm not sure I trust anybody but number 13.
He's in the slot, top of the screen. Looking that way. Shi Smith back of the end zone. Batted away as they tried instead to mix it up. And a fantastic play on the back end by Keidron Smith. Ole Miss will take over on the turnover and downs.
One of the only stops tonight, but sure looks pretty when you look up at that scoreboard, see 59. Yeah, you'd like to hold it to less than 42, but this is a great win for Lane Kiffin. He's going to get his team to 3-4. And a lot to build off of.
Let's talk South Carolina for one moment, because after a 3-point effort against Texas A&M, there's been a lot of pressure on the South Carolina program, and there's been a lot of attention paid to the fact that Will Muschamp has said we need to win by being different. Being different this day and age means going I formation and having a fullback. And the offense succeeded tonight. They put 42 points on the board. So how do you view now where South Carolina's at?
Well, it's a little skewed. I mean, yes, you did it, but you did it against one of the worst rushing defenses in the country. So how much can you credit this to, man, their culture, their identities changing on offense versus Ole Miss just hasn't been very good on defense, especially stopping the run. I think it's a little bit of both. It's good to see. You'll take it if you're South Carolina. It's a step in the right direction, but does it translate to success against other teams in the league?
Corral's going to keep it, and he takes it up to the 13-yard line. Before that play, he was 11 yards short of tying Archie Manning's total offense record. They just snap it once more.
It feels kind of fitting to let Archie hold on to that.
Well, I would say so.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee said Peyton was following Tiger around the course today. The grandson, Arch, threw 7 touchdowns in 1 quarter last night. Not a bad weekend for the Mannings. I don't know if there's ever a bad weekend for the Mannings.
Well, you'd like to stay in bounds there.
It's a first down regardless.
Yep.
And so now Ole Miss can kneel on it.
He's like, no, what are you doing? Come on.
If I had a clipboard, I'd throw it.
I mean, over/under on an hour after game to where he tweets something about a clipboard?
I'm going to give him about 4 minutes before he tweets out a clipboard throw. Ole Miss with an impressive offensive night. And a series that has been dead even. Ole Miss gets the upper hand now. They've won 9 to South Carolina's 8 wins in this series. What a party. Matt Corral. Offensive coordinator Jeff Levy called a heck of a game.
That's 2 of the finest games you can put together back-to-back as a quarterback. That's unreal. Matt Corral is playing at a level that there's only a few guys in the country right now playing at. Kyle Trask is one of those guys we saw tonight. But honestly, I mean, a handful of completions in his last few games and over 900 yards. It's just ridiculous. We talked about the talent that he has coming into this game, but he's done some things. It wasn't just the sidearm throws or scrambling around. They got going on the ground. He used his legs, but it was also his ability to look defenders off and his accuracy with the ball. Downfield, look at him, pump, look a guy off. That's what opened up the huge play, longest in Ole Miss history. Did that a couple times. You're gonna see another one here, looking left, coming back right. I mean, guys don't just get open randomly. I mean, Matt Corral played extremely well as a quarterback, not just an athlete tonight.
Elijah Moore had 238 yards receiving last week, 225 this week.
Jeez.
Steve Spurrier used to throw his visor. Lane Kiffin now throws clipboards. He's standing by with Cole.
Coach, you got me? How much fun was that tonight?
Well, it was fun on offense. Wasn't much fun on defense. But, you know, like we said, man, thank God that we had opportunity to play. So many people didn't get a chance to play. And like we told our players, play like it's your last game. And so it was frustrating on defense. They did a great job running the ball. And luckily, the offense bailed us out today.
When you were at Alabama, we saw the arms go up before a ball actually went into the air and scored a touchdown. Tonight feels like you've graduated to the play sheet toss. How did we get to that point?
I don't know. That just came out. I think I was just so nervous that we had to score every time. And that was an audible that we checked to versus that coverage, you know, with Elijah. And, you know, for that one to happen, then a 4th and 10 to go for it, when I think a lot of people would have kicked field goal. You know, it's because we trust our players and they came through for us.
Can you take us inside that 4th and 10, what you thought you were going to get from South Carolina defense?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the red zone where they always play man. They zoned it off, and the quarterback made a great play. They're right in, had a great rush on the left tackle, and got off with half a second.
You told me in halftime there was only one play that you didn't like from the first half. How many plays on offense did you have that you didn't like in the second half?
I think just the one series. I think we only punted one time all day, so 3 and out. You know, I should have worked to his left on it, but guys made some big plays. I think we had another 4th down. I don't know, probably had 4 4th down conversions or something. So the analytics worked tonight.
Just tell us about what you were seeing from your quarterback, Matt Corral, tonight, the way he performed.
Well, I mean, the guy had the most efficient game in the last 6 years of college football. Last time he played, and he came out tonight and was pretty close to it again. So it's awesome to see him play this way.
This train's not going to slow down anytime soon, is it?
Well, we're going to have to stop some people at some point, but it's fun right now.
Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, the lane train's rolling. Pretty good time to invest in clipboards if you run a business store in the greater Oxford area. They took the field in the best unis in college football, and they put up one of the best offensive performances of the season tonight. Corral throws for 513. A lot of fun. Time to talk about this one in the studio. Dari?
Indeed, Tom. By the way, the call